Welcome back to the Gadget Spot end of the year edition.
We made it.
We did.
We made it through another year.
Some of us just barely.
Capping off 2 years of podcasting.
Yes, sir.
Well, a year and a half for me. So.
No, you were with us the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, I was?
In spirit.
In spirit.
Oh,
Yep.
that's nice.
Go back. I mean, you can really hear like almost an absence, like a hole. In the first episodes.
Before we get too far past
Big
it,
James hole.
we need to talk about how early it is and how early we're recording right now.
Yeah, why are we recording this early,
It's
James?
because of me.
Okay.
And
Making
it's
sure.
because all day yesterday, all half day yesterday, all latter half day yesterday,
Okay,
Get
keep
to
going.
the
we
point.
were recording Geek Show.
Yeah,
And-
you're like, we should record Gadget Spot after Geek Show. What time do we get done recording Geek Show, James?
Dude,
Almost 8 o'clock.
yeah.
That would have been a
That
terrible
was
idea.
so late. And then here we are. So the next day morning at 8 in the morning.
Yeah, because of you.
Yeah. Because I don't want to take time away from family because it's the day before Christmas Eve.
We got a lot of stuff we need to
It's
get done
it's
anyway.
Festivus.
So,
It's Festivus for the
For
rest,
the rest of us. What is Festivus anyway? Can we get that
Oh,
knocked out right now?
Seinfeld, come
It's
on.
Seinfeld.
You gotta watch
Oh,
Seinfeld.
it's
Okay, we're gonna watch
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld after the
kidding
show.
me?
I have never
How many
watched
times?
that show.
How many times, James, have I told you to watch Seinfeld?
Hey.
Best sitcom
At
of
least
all
You
time.
five.
could tell me 5, 6, 10 times and it still doesn't buy Hulu for me.
I
Do
knew,
it.
I knew that,
Just
and I don't watch.
do it!
I haven't seen Seinfeld
Get
either.
your dreams.
Never.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Should I put it on Plex?
Yes, you should.
Seinfeld,
Will you put it on Plex?
Yeah.
for the second time
I
today, is the best sitcom ever.
It very well might be.
How is it for the second time today? It's
He
so
said it.
early.
He
I
said
already
it
said
twice.
it. Yeah.
He's already said it
Yep,
once.
Yep.
I think that I have it. I just haven't put it on there because it's like 40 gigs of files.
Well, yeah, it's 10 seasons.
Yeah, it's big.
Is it 10? Or is it 11?
I have it
Plus
on.
I'm-
Plus, I'm pissed off at my Plex right now. So.
Why are you pissed off at Plex?
We're going to talk about that in our best
I,
of.
Okay.
I already have it downloaded, but it'd be a pain to get it to you.
Yeah.
It'd be easier just for you to
Just
download
put it on a
it.
portable
It
hard
would.
drive.
It is on a
No.
portable hard drive.
I'll pull down. If I don't have it, I'll pull down 40 gigs in about 12 minutes.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Maybe 15
De Bobo.
because I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'll be late getting back to it.
There's no day bow bow.
Day-bow.
That doesn't exist.
Da-bow-bow.
It's
We're
just
kind of scattered
wow.
today.
Yeah.
It's because it's so friggin' early.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
Wait,
get
hold on,
let's
hold
get this party started. There we go. With that registered so loud on our meter.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's making my ears ring a little bit.
Should we just start over?
No.
Why would
Okay.
we start over? This
All right.
is
This is
is
fun.
amazing.
Let's introduce ourselves. Owen.
Hello. My name is Owen. And
He likes cheese.
I do. That's not wrong.
You smell like beef and cheese.
Like
What are you
Santa.
guys quoting
Like
right
mall
now?
Santa.
Elf.
Oh,
Unlike Santa, you can find me on Twitter at TechNoan. And I'm learning the ropes there. I just found out today, I think, that Twitter doesn't go in chronological order. So that was super confusing.
Every day's a learning experience.
And then
Owen.
also I learned that there's some sort of third-party thing that Jarron said can do it in chronological order, which probably would save a lot of the headache and rage I get.
Yeah, because when Twitter first came out, it
When I go to
lived
Twitter.
on third-party clients,
I decided this year,
and they're still the best clients available.
I was going to try and figure out Twitter, and I've done not very well.
what are you talking about? You've nailed it this year.
I've done better
Compared to
for
last
sure.
year.
Compared to last year, which when I didn't have an account. So, and this year, this coming year, I've decided it's Reddit because Reddit's still a mystery to me as well. I don't really know how to. I don't know how to do the Reddit.
My
subreddit.
suggestion for Reddit is use a mobile client.
Really?
It's easier to navigate, and it make more sense in your head versus their desktop.
The desktop is what I started with.
Super like
All over the place.
The
It seems
desktop,
like
the desktop makes sense once you get it,
you
but
have to actually
learn
do
it a little bit.
You have to do an account and set it up how you want.
Yeah,
for the desktop to really make sense.
I'll teach you if you want to know.
Yeah.
But as a person who probably spends a good 2 hours at least a day on Reddit,
And you're able to
don't
navigate it?
do it.
don't. It's really not healthy for my personality type
It's
either.
not.
Yeah, it's not.
So,
Yeah, you already have enough bad habits.
Yeah.
so
My sister
you don't
and
need
I-
another one.
My birth sister, who's 2 years older than me, we're talking about Reddit yesterday, and we think it's making us dumber because it's so like fast on how you consume stuff on Reddit that your attention span just gets blown out the window.
So
and it's
it's-
not worth it.
But it's great for you then because it just kind of plays right into
It
that.
makes me dumb.
Oh.
No, James, you were dumb already.
I was gonna,
Thank you.
Just
I
kidding.
had a joke in there
I've only
too
known
about
you
dumber,
since you've
but
Reddited.
not-
Yeah. I was
Anyway.
smart before. I knew 2 languages.
Anyway, that's it for me.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, this is Jarron. You can find me on Twitter at Jarron. Now, last podcast, I was a little bit dramatic about something in particular ruining my childhood.
Only last podcast?
Yeah,
Oh.
but you know, I saw that particular movie again, and I loved it the second time. I'm talking about Star Wars, of course, and great movie.
What have you been playing?
Is that all you wanted?
Oh,
to-
right, yeah, games. So I discovered the Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle versus mode yesterday.
How did you like it?
It is cool.
Yeah, you
it's
like
like
it?
3D worms, kind of.
What?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, kind of.
I could get a little bit behind that.
I mean, it's
Have you beaten
kinda.
the actual game yet?
No, I'm in the middle of it. I also bought a game for the Switch called Overcooked.
Oh, I have that
That's
game
right.
too.
Tony and I played that a little bit.
I don't
Pretty
like
fun.
that game.
It's fun.
If you get people
It's-
to play
yeah.
with,
hard.
it's fun.
It's
It is
really hard.
Yeah, if you have 3 or more people to play with you, it's a great time.
Oh, how many people can you get to play that game?
4.
Oh, that would make it so much
Yeah.
easier.
It's a really
No,
fun
it doesn't.
local co-op game.
It doesn't make it easier.
It makes
Really?
it funner.
It makes it crazier.
Yeah,
How much yelling at each other did you guys
Quite
do?
a bit.
a lot. Yeah,
It was
And
good times, though, us and Ty.
I finished the Battlefront 2 main campaign, and then I discovered that there's a new
Oh.
chapter.
We had 4 people playing for a little bit, though. Remember, Nick was playing.
Oh yeah,
So we did
Yeah.
have 4, and
Yeah.
it's good with 4 people, too.
yep.
Okay, sorry. Derailed.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so I didn't know Battlefront 2 would have this, but there's free DLC story, so that's cool. I finished the main campaign, found out that there's a new chapter available, so that's cool.
How long's the chapter, out of curiosity?
I don't know, I just barely started playing it.
I hear that all that's on the story of Battlefront is on YouTube. So
yeah, of
apparently,
course.
if you don't have time or
Everything's
want
on
to play
YouTube.
it, yeah,
Story
just
of any
YouTube it.
game
Yeah,
is on YouTube
Ooh.
at any given point.
but I have the whole next week off, so I might actually be able to play some real games.
Hey-o.
I'm excited.
Yeah, my problem with that though is you can never get too deep into games. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to play a game, I want to like invest
You
myself.
get just deep enough into the game.
That's one of my problems with games, actually, is that I overcommit. And then I'm grinding and like for hours just trying to get everything.
I suppose.
James, introduce yourself, bro.
What's up? My name's James. You can catch me on Twitter
Bruh.
at JDD Jensen. JDD is for ADD. You can catch me on Xbox at Funeral Taters. You can now catch me on Twitch because Tony helped me build this sweet high-end gaming computer.
Yeah.
And I bought a microphone so I could actually talk to people. You can catch me on Twitch at Funeral Taters. That's Funeral Space Taters. Catch me on my YouTube channel, RDPOV. That stands for Red Devil Point of View.
Twitch has spaces in their usernames too.
I don't know, honestly.
Let me check. I don't. Now that you're saying it, I don't think it does.
No, because it's stupid to
No,
have a space
it's
in the
not.
names.
Sorry. Twitch is just Funeral Taters. FUNERTATERS. That's on Twitch.
FUNERAL.
FUNERAL.
There we go.
Feral Taters.
Funertators.
Funertators.
Give me some of them funertators.
Yeah, do me a favor. Go onto my Twitch and subscribe to me. It's free to subscribe. Get ready for some mediocre videos of a guy that's kind of trying.
Way to sell yourself.
I've been playing a lot of City Skylines lately.
At least he's accurate in his advertising.
But the other game that I've been playing a lot lately
Accurate.
is Skyrim, and I got a bone to pick with that game, man. I can't get done with one quest without obtaining 2 more.
I still want to see Skyrim on Switch. You'll have to show
I
me
got it.
afterwards.
Yeah,
It is a fun game,
bought a
yes.
digital download when I went to Miami. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to plug. Nope, we got a host. His name's Tony.
Hi, guys. Check me out on the Twitters at QuadTTony, or here on the Gadget Spot every other week with these guys, or on the Geek Show podcast with my Geek Show bros. Gaming wise, I'm still playing Horizon Zero Dawn because that game is huge. That's about it. I haven't actually been playing a lot of games these last couple weeks. Mostly just Horizon Zero Dawn. I've been playing the game of cryptocurrency as well.
Yeah, but you got big time coming up to play games, don't you?
Yes, sir. I got the whole next 7 days off.
Tony, your internet's down.
Yeah. What?
Yep.
Nope. False.
Well, it doesn't look like it's down on my
Mine
computer.
is up.
Go to google.com.
Okay.
I'm on the show notes, bro.
silence as we troubleshoot this internet. Just kidding.
Google.com. Want me to do a search?
What?
Yep. Right.
What's wrong with my computer?
I was going to say, Jarron, my email just came up just
Yeah,
fine.
so did mine.
I hate to say it.
Well,
Jimmy.
I'm glad that we took a second to
Yeah, that's
talk
good.
about that.
That's good.
It was odd, dead silence.
Okay, so let's go ahead with our Patreon backers.
Oh, I got the list all pulled up.
We got to thank our Patreon backers because they're the bomb.
Yeah. Owen, what is Patreon, and where can you find ours?
We should figure out a way, pause, to summarize Patreon in 3 sentences.
I was gonna say
It
3
is
words.
good. Donate to us. Love you.
It's
I'm not saying we need to do that right now. For
Oh.
future reference,
Oh, good.
put a pin in that.
okay. Good. Because
In the meantime, Owen?
I don't think I have 3 sentences. I was gonna go for less. Like,
Oh, prove it. Let's see.
well, it depends on your construction of a sentence.
Well, I feel
can
like
make some
now
pretty
it's
short
been
ones.
drawn out kind of a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, Patreon. Patreon's where you can support the show. I mean, when you get down to the brass tacks, it's a way for you guys to help us keep the lights on. Let us do some of our really cool content. All of our best video content has really been provided by Patreon, and it's a way you can kind of give back. You don't have to. It's totally optional. We give you you get the podcast, and
But
we love doing it. but
Appreciate if you do.
we do.
We have flow problems this early in the morning.
Yeah.
our flow issues.
So anyway,
I had a good flow when I woke up this morning. Hey-oh, 5.
Oh, we're here.
Way to ruin it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I got the whole list pulled up. If you donate at a certain tier, we kind of give you a call out. We call you either a tech daddy or a tech mommy.
That tier is $6, by the way. No need to hide that.
yeah.
I wanted to build some kind of
No.
mystery.
No, it's $6.
It's the
Whatever.
mystery box.
Subscribe.
Keeps listeners listening.
Subscribe to me on Twitch at Funeral Theater. So, thank you so much, guys, for and here's the names.
Oh my gosh. This episode is a train wreck. We are never recording this early in the morning ever again.
I think we had the exact same problem last time we
You're right.
recorded this
Yep.
early.
Yep. We were just repeating history.
Thank
Say
you.
the names, James.
Thank you, AJ Jasper. You're the best.
He
Aaron,
is the best.
He is. Seriously. Have we met him? No, don't worry about it.
I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron Harris, and a special thank you to David Osuna. Thank you, Roger Allen, Jeffrey Kale, and Tommy Rowe. Thank you so much, Dan Clark. Thank you, Detective Baby Legs.
Hey, that was the same one as last time.
It's Christmas
Oh.
season. He's busy.
We're
I'm sure.
giving him. We're giving a break.
we get a
there.
pass.
I still thought it was funny.
It was.
It's funny because his avatar picture is of a jelly bean with Morty in the bathroom.
King Jellybean. Ugh.
Thank you so much, Ryan
He
Baker.
is not what he seems.
Also,
you.
also, we're really early, so he thought he had more time.
Oh,
to
that's
change
true.
it.
We're recording a couple days early.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Adam Hecht and David Broshinsky. Thank you, Michael Beck and Casey Dilly.
You got it.
Thank you, John Rios, Derek Allred. Thank you, We Do Care, Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's finally getting through to people.
Nice.
I've been telling you that for a while, Owen.
Hey, finish the list.
Thank you so much, Brian Lee, Matt Nilsson, and thank you so much to Lindsay Lucas, Kevin G. Eccles, Ryan McQueen.
On a side note, Kevin is who won our last giveaway.
Yeah.
For the PC game codes.
We completed that.
Yep.
The giveaways
Are we
are
doing another?
real.
Can we do another giveaway and give away Destiny 2?
Sure.
Yeah.
I have a PC. I'm not done. Hold on.
Yeah. Keep going. This was
Thank
my
you,
fault.
Ryan McQueen.
I derailed.
Thank you, Valentine. Thank you so much, Austin Beauregard, who I follow on social media and has an awesome life. Thank you so much, Conrad Southworth and
Life?
Spencer Knowlton. You guys are the bomb.
Thanks, everyone.
So I have a PC digital download of Destiny 2, which I lovingly refer to that gaming series as the abusive ex-boyfriend. So I do not want to get back into that hole of
Yeah,
gaming.
we can run a giveaway and give that away.
James
so-
speaks from experience.
That's a really
Yeah.
good game. Unlike the ones I gave away before, are a little bit older. They're still good games too.
But this one's pretty relevant.
Yeah, we had 11 entries. The last one.
Well, we also didn't advertise
Minus-
this one very
Minus
much.
the Patreon entries as well. Cause
The previous one we had over 120 or something. This one we had 11.
I am going to put a stipulation though. I think.
Well, hold on. Before you get too far into that, the marketing for the SNES. Remember that awesome video that I made with the unboxing? It was like, whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, I remember.
yeah.
It was good.
So I'm just saying, like, we did 0 marketing, and we still got 11 entries. So that's not
And
bad.
that video had the Tony dancing thing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was classic.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was really happy with that video. I was so happy with it that I showed it to people at work.
And they went, "Who's that big
Yeah,
weirdo?"
they didn't really like it very much. Sorry, keep going.
You got to know your audience, I guess.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, any feedback from you, listeners and friends of the show, would be appreciated. But I was thinking about changing when we do giveaways. The Patreon members or subscribers or whatever they're called, patrons, will get an automatic entry. But I think I'm going to make it so you have to actually enter in the first place to get your free entry.
Well, yeah.
Just to show you're actually interested in the prize.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because we had 11 entries for this last one, and then all the Patreon backers got an automatic entry too. And I'll bet a bunch of them don't even care about the games that were being given away.
And up until recently, I didn't have a PC.
Yeah, so that's another thing. If you don't
So-
like, if it's a bunch of PC games and you're a console gamer, then you're not going to want these anyway. So
Then again, that is kind of like a free or a funny situation if you think about it. It's like you win something that's worth like $40. It's just like, I don't really want
I
this.
don't want this.
So besides
Take it
being
back.
lesser in Tony's eyes because you're not a PC gamer, you may not even want the game.
Yeah, exactly. You lessers.
Mm-hmm.
I will admit-
I don't harbor any ill will to
You're not
people
one
that
of
only
those?
play on console. No, I own all the consoles as well. Why would I?
Humble brag.
It was a humble
That
brag.
was I did it. That was unintentional humble brag. But
I keep all my nice consoles downstairs in my lavish living room with my awesome cat.
I've been the last 2 weeks. I've only played console basically. So there you go. All right.
Thank you to everybody that with Patreon. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And we have an email.
we got an email.
This email is from Jeremy Foot.
I think it's just foot.
Foot.
He says, "Greetings and salutations, Tony, James, Owen, and Jarron."
Hello.
I came second. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm moving up.
Hey, he cut out an E out of my name.
Yeah, it's just Owen.
I'm
I
already
like it.
short on letters anyway.
Hey, really quick before we go into this, Tony, if you had to designate a number 1 or number 2, make it show number 1.
He's going to make you choose who you like most.
Yeah,
right now.
who would your number 1 on this podcast be?
You don't want
Well.
to know this.
It's obviously Jarron
Yes!
because A, we're blood, and B,
Blood's thicker than water.
that's right, and B, it was him and I that came up with the idea to do this podcast.
That's true.
so
I just got to go to lunch with them, and they asked
All right,
me, and I
fine.
was like,
Who's
oh.
the number 2?
well, it goes in order of how you got on the podcast. So
I'm number 3?
I mean, two and a half.
Well, technically you're number 4 because number 1 is Tony.
yeah, that's right.
I'm number 2.
1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Great.
weird
You-
that you had to help us define that, James. Now
You're-
we all feel bad.
Don't forget that.
You're the one that wanted to bring this up.
Fine. read the email.
All right. Email from Jeremy. I was redoing my computer monitor display setup and reworking some audio-visual stuff when I remembered I had a question to ask about a while ago. On one of the early podcasts, you guys were talking about cables to connect visual displays, VGA, HDMI, DVI, and the likes. I have always
He left
been
out the most important one.
Yeah, he did. But this is what the question's about, so
Okay.
it's good. I've always been under the impression that HDMI is the benchmark, and nothing out there is really better, especially on the consumer level. However, during this conversation, there was some dissent on the HDMI cable opinion, and that there are better display cable options. I wish I could remember the podcast so I could reference it. Much like the info that prompted my last question, I was taken aback because A, I thought HDMI was the established top shelf, and B, I couldn't even think of a different display port/cable. Therefore, my question is, what other digital display options are there, and how do they rank in relation to HDMI? Thanks, guy. I do care, and Geek Show says, hey.
All right.
Hey, from Geek Show.
Nice. So you actually answered your own question when you were trying to say you couldn't think of another DisplayPort option. That you're actually
DisplayPort.
DisplayPort is what you're thinking. Is what
DisplayPort
you're looking for.
is the gold standard.
So DisplayPort looks a lot like HDMI on the connector, but it's a full rectangle
Yeah, it's
with
got
one corner
Yeah.
shaved off.
It's like it's one corner got squared out.
Yep. So DisplayPort currently right now in regular market terms is the winner as far as bandwidth and ability to move picture data audiovisual data.
How high of a
Not
resolution
audio.
does it go
Not
up to?
audio though. It just does video.
It can do audio.
Really?
Just nobody chooses to do it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was video only.
No, it'll do audio as well.
Oh.
I believe that DisplayPort can do 4K 120. DisplayPort 1.3.
So HDMI TVs, they have a
HDMI 2.0.
yeah, and that's 18 gigabits per second,
Yeah.
and that could do 4K at 60 frames per second.
Right.
DisplayPort is 32.4 gigabits per second.
Right.
So it's almost twice as fast as HDMI.
So DisplayPort is the way to go now, and their new HDMI 2.1 is coming out sometime in the next probably year and a half or 2 years. And that one, I believe, doubles HDMI 2.0 to 40-something gigabits per
48
second.
gigabits per second.
Yeah.
Now, just correct me if I'm wrong. DisplayPort isn't. It's free, right? Like, that's
it's-
what kind of drove the innovation behind it to push it farther. Do you think?
I believe it's an open standard.
It's an open standard versus HDMI, which you have to license on your
I'm
device.
not sure on HDMI on that one. I think you do, but I'm not 100%
Yeah, I thought
sure.
HDMI was you had to license it if you wanted to add it on your hardware. You had to buy the rights to it.
So by the time HDMI 2.1 comes out, that'll be faster than current DisplayPort.
But DisplayPort's coming out with, is it 1.4?
yeah, so DisplayPort will probably come out with something better by then.
And DisplayPort 1.4, I've read, is going to be better than 2.1. So, I mean, it's a leapfrog situation. But my recommendation is the best bet on consoles and TV is obviously HDMI. That's the de facto. Now, for computers, if you have an option for DisplayPort, always go DisplayPort.
Until 2.1 comes out for HDMI.
But by then you'll have DisplayPort 1.4.
1.4 is still slower than...
Is it really?
Yeah, than
Oh,
2.1.
HDMI is actually going to pull ahead.
Yeah, but 2.1's not out yet, so DisplayPort's still the better option.
Okay. Well, there you go. Currently, nothing supports 2.1 right now.
Yeah.
There's no hardware out there that you can even use it on. So,
Does it just down port to regular if you did have 2.1, like cables, or the cable's not even out either?
I don't know. The cables, the standard hasn't been pushed out yet.
Right.
And I don't know if they're going to require...
It's backwards compatible.
Yeah, it'll be backwards compatible, but I don't know if they're going to require new HDMI cables.
I bet they will.
Probably, because it's a big jump.
Yeah.
So...
Because you needed a new HDMI cable for like anything 2.0 and above.
Yeah.
Like high-speed cables.
But the connector will stay the same.
Right.
It'll still
Yeah.
be the same.
Which is super confusing.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks for writing in. Okay. So we agreed as a panel that we wanted to start this episode off as the last episode of 2017 with our best and worst of lists before we go into any news.
And I have no doubt that I'm going to interject more worst ofs because, like, my worst ofs, I don't really have a lot of stuff right now.
Okay. So I say let's start with our top 5 games. We'll start with Owen.
Ooh.
Do we have to say them in a particular order, just really quick, or
You
just
can
top 5
if you
in
want.
general?
I'm just going to say top 5 in general because my top 3 are a tie for first place. I mean, I can't decide.
I feel like you're going to have the best. Can you go last? You
Sure.
probably played the most games.
Well, you'd think, but a lot of the games I went through my head yesterday thinking about this list, probably 80% of the games I played were from the year before to the year before that.
Wait, I thought we were just doing a top 10 or top 5 games that we've played this year, not a
Right.
top 5 games that come out, right?
Well, I mean,
It could be either.
It could be either, I guess.
because mine's definitely not come out this year.
Yeah, mine too.
Oh,
So
well, that opens my list up.
yes, so like so
Change this one.
I don't have a ton. I don't have a ton of games that I played. I don't have a ton of time for
Oh
actual
my gosh, you're doing
games.
the big
But
setup.
James is going to shut up, and I'm going to get through my list here.
Oh, I love when Owen's mean.
So I played the Destiny 2 beta, which I enjoyed that a lot. I've never had that bad boyfriend. I mean, girlfriend.
You only know him after he went to AA, cleaned up his game.
I never
to be
met
fair.
him. I never met him, and so I played Destiny 2 beta. I'd never played Destiny before.
It's okay if you can't decide which.
And so it is. Oh, thanks, James. So accepting of you. And I actually played that game more than I thought I was going to. And so
Are you still talking about the beta right now?
the beta, and then I never pulled the trigger on Destiny 2.
Do you want a key for it?
No,
I'm just kidding. We're giving it away.
Yeah, we're giving that
Plus,
away.
it's for PC.
Maybe
you
I'll-
gave him
maybe
a key
I'll-
that may not have been deactivated.
Oh. Anyway, so
But that's for PC. Never mind.
The other one, that my second favorite game, actually, that was Destiny 2 is just the one I thought of first. Titanfall 2 was by far my favorite game of this year.
that was real good.
I forgot about that game.
That game got me back into gaming this year. Like, I haven't gamed for a long time because I'm a big Halo fanboy, and so I kind of just wait for Halo to come out and then play the bejesus out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
By the way, they haven't mentioned anything about the next Halo, have
Nothing.
they?
Not a bit.
nothing.
Okay.
I'm kind of starved. It's starting to feel like George R. R. Martin up in
Well,
this
let's not
joint.
forget we got Halo Wars 2. So
Yeah, good.
yeah.
That's great. That Halo Wars 2 can eat it. But anyway, so Titanfall 2 was great. A couple things really fun happened. We did a hangout with some of the listeners and played Titanfall 2, which was really
That
fun.
was fun.
And then we gamed, and I haven't gamed with friends for I can't even remember how long. It usually is, I'm the guy with no mic in Halo that just sucks really bad. Anyway, so
that's you?
yeah, that's always me.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I get messages telling me to stop playing. Then
which, by the way, I never have understood that. Like, who goes that far out of their way
Just douches.
people,
to like?
I hope
Douche
the
canoes.
part of me that wants to protect myself believes that it's 13 and 14-year-old kids that just have, they're just mean.
Not 34-year-old successful businessmen.
No.
They got better things to do with their time.
Yeah. And then the last one is the last one here on my list is fantasy football. I did not think I did not think I was going to get into it at all.
He's
I
a
thought
sports fan now.
I did it to support James because James gets pooped on sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, you can refer to me as number 4.
Don't be a drama queen. It's only sometimes. So I did it to support James because I was like, he is doing this and everybody's giving him a hard time and I'm really going to suck, but I'll suck with dignity. That sounds so bad. So this thing is anyway. I will take
that's so
I will take it
This is a family
like
show.
a man.
Nope.
No, okay. Sorry. No, but so I played that. I played the game kind of like Moneyball. Was my idea behind it. I'm just gonna go
Straight
off the
numbers, huh?
just numbers. I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about it, and I also really relied on the reviews in the game. Like, there's some sports writers in there. It gave me kind of a new appreciation for sports writers and people that would predict how people are going to do. And I spent not a small amount of time reading. I would go in matchup to matchup, and I'd be like, okay, let's look at this guy, and he's going to have a hard matchup against so and so. I did a lot of research into it and just read through everything, and I know that 90% of it was complete luck. I mean, complete. I had a weird round in week 8 where I traded with a whole bunch of people. I shamed James into trading me one of his good players because he was doing so poorly that I figured he would just do whatever I wanted, and it still took him 2 weeks to trade me a player.
And we all pressured him too.
We did.
It's true.
We were just like, James, look, you're in the toilet, man.
You can see the chat records.
It got enough. I got trading, and I started gathering up enough above average players that they started a chat in the game that said Owen must be stopped. Stop trading with him.
So at the end of the day, did you have fun?
Yeah, it was.
Would you do it again next year?
Yeah,
Would you be the commissioner next year? 'Cause
No.
There's no way I'm doing it next year.
Why not?
Because I sucked.
Because he lost.
I stopped like 3/4 of the way through
Sore
because
loser.
I sucked.
No, see, that would have happened to me the first time I sucked. Like,
Fine, I'll start it up again next
anyway,
year.
but yeah, now I'm in the championship. I'm up against the Rebels, who are gonna utterly destroy me. But I'm second place. I mean, I'm first place technically because you can suck at Rebels because last week or whatever you lost. But anyway,
And let me say again, I was proven completely wrong. People signed up.
It's true.
I can't believe
and
it.
we had fun, Jarron. I
Yeah.
believe people would sign up. I did not believe I would have fun. So, anyway.
Wrong on all accounts.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the games. That's my best of games. Oh, I have on here also Bitrix.com because
That's a good game.
I've been playing the exchanges, and it's actually kind of fun when you're not.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency when you're not about to throw up from watching a market drop right before you make a trade.
We're gonna get into that a little bit later in the episode.
Yeah.
The cryptocurrency roller coaster.
Yeah, once you that game's actually kind of fun if you number one you don't put your own money into it and you mined it. That was fun. But anyway, that was it's fun.
Man, you're like a freight train. Once you get going, you can't stop.
And you can't really
Well, you gave me the mic.
Well, with cryptocurrency, I guess we'll talk about it.
All right, Jarron.
All right, so my top 5 games are games that all came out this year. Titanfall would be on there, but I technically enjoyed that when it came out last year.
Give it honorable mention.
Yeah, honorable mention. So, top 5 games for me. Number 1, this is in order, Horizon Zero Dawn. That game is phenomenal.
Yes.
Graphics are amazing. Gameplay is amazing.
I don't think I've heard one bad review of that game.
I'll probably never get through it because it's forever long.
It is huge, but
Yeah.
it's so good.
Number 2, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Another one of those forever long games, but it is
You just got to
amazing.
sprint it out. They're like, once you get done with 3 divine beasts, you just got to sprint it out.
Yeah, I decided to pick it up again a few weeks ago.
I saw that.
Yeah, and I decided to try one of the divine beasts. I'm in him right now. That sounded weird. Anyway, number 3, of course, is an Uncharted game. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Great game. I've talked about that many, many times before. Number 4, Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap, the remake. It came out on all the consoles, but I got it on the Switch. This was originally released on the Sega Master System. It was my favorite game growing up.
Nice.
And when I picked it up, I pretty much beat the game all in one sitting.
Because you remembered everything about it.
I remembered everything about it.
Nice.
I love it so much. The graphics are gorgeous because it's all hand-drawn and
you can
remade.
switch on the fly to the old graphics,
Yep,
right?
you can switch
Yeah.
on the fly and remember how horrible the graphics used to be. But, oh, it's so nostalgic. It's great. And my last game, more for it being Star Wars than anything else, and this may appear on another list as well, but it's Battlefront 2. So, there you go.
All right. Very, very good. Very good. Number 4, your list.
You can call me James. My name.
Number 4?
So there was a bunch of really good games that came out this year. But the games that I've been playing this year are the ones that I'm going to be referencing right now. Probably the game that I've been playing the most recently is Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch. It's amazing when you can just pick it up, and I played it on an airplane. I played it in bed. I played the motion controls on it, which I don't suggest. It's such a good game, and it's like a good book that you could take with you and read wherever you want. Like, it's so good. My only gripe with that game, and it's kind of a good gripe, but whatever, is I can't complete one quest without obtaining like 3 more.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know,
Never ending.
There's
yeah,
always
it's like
something to
never
do.
ending. Yeah, and I feel like because it is the Game of the Year edition, you have access to like. I'm sorry, like we're gonna have like people out there that are gonna rip me a new one, but like Morrowind, I think it takes me to it at like one point.
No.
It takes me to like or Oblivion, or like it takes me to not Skyrim, and I feel like I unlocked that like way early in the game on accident, and I don't know. Anywho, so that's number 1. Well, I don't know if that's number 1, but Zelda Breath of the Wild for same reason that Jarron. I actually beat that game. Yeah, not without like minor nitpicking gripes, but I really liked that game. Super Mario Odyssey was another great game. I beat that game to my comfort level. I'm not going to go too deep into it. Mario Rabbids is a really fun game that was really surprising.
Yeah, I'm surprised how much I like it.
What's a rabbit?
A rabbit is like, isn't it Ubisoft?
Yeah, it's like those little rabbit thingies that
Looks like
demented.
a rabbit.
I've played like the Rabbids game. It feels like a Western family version of Mario Party when I would play it.
It was on the Wii.
It tries really hard to be funny, and I see how Rabbids could be appealing to kids under the age of like 10.
If you were to describe the Rabbids, I think a good description of them would be if you took a minion and gave it a bunny costume.
I was circulating
There you
around
go.
like minions in my brain. Yeah, I mean,
But it came out
nailed it.
before Despicable Me.
Except with
right?
a lot more
don't know.
energy. Yeah, it did. I believe it did.
Okay. Well, either way, they're very similar.
And lately, I've been playing a lot of City Skylines on my computer. That game, if you like Sim City, it's really good. I think I talked about it last time, but
Yep.
City Skylines is a really good game. And PUBG. Just no matter how good you think you are at a game, somebody will always kill you.
That's kind of life.
Yeah.
No matter how good you think you are, there's always somebody better.
somebody
The
better.
best practice is just to not think you're good like me, and then you're never surprised.
Ta-da!
And never disappointed.
I'm like, I died.
Hey,
Or
Understandable.
or always disappointed.
you're the best, man.
If you're always disappointed,
Yeah.
you can never be disappointed.
But how does it feel that you're almost number one in the fantasy football league, though?
It's actually a little bit surreal.
Do you want to chase this feeling once you obtain it?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't like it.
Tony, do you feel there's a lot of pressure on you now to stay at the top?
Yeah, exactly. Well, not to stay at the top, but like now that I'm at the top, like it's more of a fall.
You better perform.
It's a higher drop.
Yeah.
You know, when you only drop from one stair, you're like, I'm
Isn't
clumsy.
that what they say about heroin? Like, it's easier to fall from the first floor than it is the top?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Never had
When
it.
you relapse.
Anyway.
All right, Tony, what do you got?
Okay, my list is pretty similar to Jarron's. First off, we got Horizon Zero Dawn. So good.
So there's a documentary on the making of that game on YouTube. It's like an hour and 15 minutes long.
Well, I think I watched the first part of it.
Yeah, it's
a
really
while
good.
back.
Do you guys know... Okay, Jon Snow's girlfrione, is that who
Yeah.
that character is based off of? Did she do motion
No,
capture for that?
It's not-
Okay.
I don't think it's her.
She always just looks super... She looks...
They both have red hair.
The documentary talks about the studio and how they
They look a lot alike.
made mediocre games for so long and how they made this one. It's really cool.
I need to watch that
What's
because
another game that studio's made?
that's what
Killzone.
I was going to say.
Killzone was good.
It was okay.
yeah.
I that Guerrilla must have made a deal with the devil or something to go from making mediocre first-person shooters that were very good visually. From a technical standpoint, they always had a good game engine. But from a gameplay and a story standpoint, they're always pretty mediocre. And then to do something completely different, this huge open world with a great story, great setting. I mean, everything about this game is top quality.
So for the Killzone games, they always outsourced the story. But for Horizon Zero Dawn, they actually hired somebody to come in and write the story. He did
Did you watch the full...
Fallout New Vegas, I think, before.
Oh, that's widely regarded as a very good story.
Yeah. And
Fallout
then,
New Vegas. I always see... What is all the hate around Fallout 4? Everybody always references Fallout New Vegas. I thought it
Because
was just as
Fallout,
good.
Fallout New Vegas was much more open as far as story choices and things like that. The thing with Fallout 4 is...
I played both, and I like them both equally.
Oh, no. Fallout 4 is a lot of fun. I love that game, but you...
Is it more
Does-
about the crafting?
Yeah, definitely. And it's all the decisions you make throughout the game on the main story quest will lead you down the same path, basically, and it all comes down to, basically two choices at the end, no matter what you do. Jarron is dying over there.
You okay, buddy?
I'm going to die.
But so it doesn't matter what you do, you get faced with two choices near the end, and even after you make the two choices and you go into the end game content, nothing really changes depending on what you choose. So that was kind of people's main complaint compared to New Vegas, where your decisions actually seemed to affect what happened.
Oh.
But yeah, that I need to watch that documentary. I think that sounds pretty good. So I also on there Zelda, obviously Breath of the Wild. Basically, your reinvigoration of the Zelda franchise.
Did you see that they started work on the new one?
Yeah,
Really?
not
Yeah.
not surprising. I mean,
I didn't
if
hear
they
that.
start work on it now, it'll be done for us in 2022.
Yeah, they gotta get. They gotta assemble the
Yep.
gravy train and put the biscuit wheels on.
Did they?
How are they going to evolve it, though? Because it's already
Add
think-
more enemies that are
Yeah.
more to the type.
Well, it
of
seems like they're going to keep
landscape.
the exact same formula as this one.
I think hopefully they're gonna. If I was them, what I would concentrate more on now is
Story.
more story and bigger, maybe have shrines and dungeons and big dungeons.
That was
Yeah,
my
that-
biggest
that's-
complaint.
yeah, that's true.
Is I would like shrines that are teaching me how to beat the dungeon up until the dungeon.
Yeah,
I
something
still
like
want the
that.
open world, but you know how they kind of held your hand to the first.
Right.
I want that to all of them.
And I kind of want the hookshot back.
I agree. The hookshot was pretty cool.
It'd be neat if
Yeah.
they could, with this new open world setting, if they could create a hook shot mechanic that was more like Batman's grappling hook, so you could fire it off and
and then glide.
Glide, or I was going to
that'd
say,
be cool.
let go in midair and then fire it off again before you fall, kind of a thing.
Basically, web slinging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but with a hook shot. Hook shot slinging.
So like Batman.
Yes.
Hey,
Or
really
Spider-Man.
quick, before we get too far away off the Fallout, is Fallout ever going to come to Switch, do you think?
Maybe. I mean, they brought Skyrim to Switch.
I tweeted that out the other day, and I got 0 response.
Yeah.
That's because nobody follows you.
Oh, isn't all the people fake on there? James, didn't you build a family on Twitter?
This is the tough episode for number 4. Leave him alone.
Okay, sorry, number 4.
Put those fingers down. All right. Rounding out my list in the middle is Wolfenstein 2. I'm the only one here that's played that game, but gosh dang, that is a good game.
I saw that. I only watched you play it just to see the graphics on the Ultra settings, and I was impressed.
It's gorgeous, huh?
Yeah, I was impressed.
Not only is it gorgeous, the story is great, the characters are great, the gameplay is fantastic. You get to kill not only Nazis, but also KKK members. Like, it's fantastic. It's just a really, really good game. And then also by Bethesda, or at least published by Bethesda, rather, is Prey. Prey came out this year, and I really enjoyed that game as well.
I live streamed that game the first time I played the demo, and I didn't know it was a horror game.
It's got some scary parts, for
Did
sure.
you scream?
I've never been scared of a coffee mug before.
Now you have.
But that game will make you terrified of a coffee mug.
Wow.
It's a great game. I really enjoyed it.
Did they use the ITEC engine in that?
No, they used the Crytek engine.
Oh, interesting.
And it turned out really well. It's not as
Yeah.
good looking as Wolfenstein 2, but it still looks quite good. The story's pretty crazy. It really basically reminded me of BioShock on a space station.
I thought that, yeah, just playing the demo, it was like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah. Yep.
I want a new BioShock Infinite.
Oh,
I need to
that
go
would be
back
good.
through and replay and just play those. I haven't played any of them.
That whole team.
So good.
That whole team dispersed though after
Yeah.
BioShock Infinite, which is kind of a bummer. And my number, not number 5, but the last game on my top 5 list is not one that came out this year because I didn't know that was the rules until just now. But Dragon Age Inquisition, I played through that this year and I had a really good time with that one. So.
What'd you play that on?
PC.
I might try that out on PC. It seems like more like a PC playable game. I tried it on Xbox and can't get into the play style. We've talked about that
I would have
before.
said yes, but I used a controller the whole time, so it was basically
How much have you actually used your Steam controller that you got?
not very much. I played through.
Can I take it home and try it out?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
I played through.
I want to try Age of Empires on it.
Yeah, definitely, because that was one of the things I wanted to try. It was RTS, but
what?
I don't like RTS games, so I never tried it.
I used to love RTS games back in the day.
I never
What do you
got
mean
into
used to? RTS games are the best kind of game.
Command and Conquer Red Alert. Oh, I loved that game.
But yeah, take that Steam controller home and give it a shot on an RTS game.
You know what I want to try doing here in the future? I want to replay through all... I don't know how relevant this is, but replay through all of the Half-Life games. Starting at 1.
that's
and
relevant.
going through all of them.
Classic.
Oh, I've been trying to replay play for the first time Half-Life 2 on the Xbox, but I keep on getting distracted with other games.
Yeah.
What's the website called that it tells you how long it takes to play through a game?
I don't know. Never heard of that.
Playthrough.it?
I was going to say I did play through Doom 3 BFG edition with the Steam controller. And once you get used to it, it's good. You know,
The
it's not bad.
plastic just kind of feels cheap to
Oh,
me.
it definitely is kind of a cheap feeling controller, especially since I snagged a Xbox Elite controller on a really good deal.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Last year.
Once you go with the Elite controller, everything else feels cheap.
I know. I go downstairs to play on my Xbox, and I don't have an Elite controller down there, and I pick up the controller, and I'm like, meh.
Oh, the website
Yeah.
that I was looking for is howlongtobeat.com. And it gives you main story, main plus extra, completionist, and all styles.
Nice.
That's a cool site.
All right, let's move on with our list. We're going to go to top 5 gadgets / tech of the year. And you don't necessarily have to have owned any of these tech or gadgets. It's just stuff that came out or was announced this year that got you really excited about tech and gadgets.
Owen.
So, Owen.
Yeah, I don't actually own any of the GTX 1070 Ti's, but I
do.
really like it.
They sure are neat.
Yeah,
why,
they sure
why
are.
the TI version?
Because it's kind of this mid-range. I will.
Well, it's high end for sure.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'll probably never be able to get the Titan X or
Or the V.
the Titan V, or even the 1080 Ti is a little bit outside of my reach. But these 1070 Ti's come in at what, 470?
Yeah, around 450 to 500.
So that's actually well within my range as a poor person to burden myself with debt to get. It's just within that reach. I'm like, oh, I could pay that off, and then never will. So so that one, and NVIDIA in general, because I mean, obviously I have I'm biased just because I got into cryptocurrency this year. I knew probably next to nothing about video cards or NVIDIA before then. Oh. And so the last year of the podcast, listening to Tony was very, very uncompelling. But then afterwards,
I tried to bring you to the light earlier. Yeah, nobody listened.
And it was just kind of like, cool story, bro. I don't have any change. But I don't have any money. Please move along. But but now that I have a stake in the game and I actually took some time to research it, the NVIDIA in general, that as a company, they're printing money.
See, I didn't put them on my list because I was afraid you guys would call me a shill.
No.
So I'm glad you put it on your list.
I'm doing it for you. I saw that and I was like,
you are a shill, no matter what.
Oh.
So that one's for me. I want to get. I almost pulled the trigger on a 1070 Ti.
Oh yeah.
When Ethereum. So I had a goal. When I sold my Ethereum to pay some bills, I kept 0.34 because I'm a hoarder and I couldn't do it. I couldn't get
Ethereum.
I couldn't get rid of all of it. And then I made a joke that I would only sell my Ethereum once it doubled what Jarron made off his.
And then it almost did.
And I waited.
What price did you sell at, Jarron?
480. No,
360.
480.
It got up to 878, and I was like, I should wait so that I could land the joke later.
Yeah, so I sold when it was kind of flat around 500, and I thought it's never going to go up from there. Then, literally 2 to 3 days later, it went up to 800.
So Jarron's our lucky clover. He's our rabbit's foot with that. So anytime we want a cryptocurrency to do well, we just ask if he'll sell some off.
Jarron, sell some so we can get more money.
So we can get more money. Anyway, so I almost pulled the trigger and bought myself a new power supply and a 1070 Ti just for my home machine, because the graphics card in it, I've got these old GT 630s.
So you were thinking about actually using it.
Yeah, using it.
And then you could mine in the meantime.
And then I could just do nice hash on the side or whatever. But
like what I do for my gaming rig.
So, and kind of inspired by that actually. So, but I waited, and then Ethereum dropped down to 600, and I can't afford it now. So, but yeah, so I have these old NVIDIA GT 630s that I use for testing.
It's up to 750 right now.
Yeah, it's actually on the rise. But I use them for testing because I can run the scripts on my home machine without interrupting my actual mining rig.
Workflow. And
I left it on and melted the 2 GT 630s that I have.
You did?
The fans were just. I'm like, what's that?
Oh,
what does that smell? And the fans had seized and were melted. So I oiled them. I tried to fix them, but now they grind. Now they growl. Yeah. The fans growl, and I have artifacting constantly on my screen. So
I'm gonna check the temperatures of my graphics cards.
They're toast. Next thing on my list is the Ryzen chip series and the thread. I mean, I'm throwing Threadrippers in there too, but the Ryzen in general, I like. Not that I'm super impressed with Ryzen as a whole,
should be.
I mean, I like them for the price, but I just like the competition. I love seeing Intel get a little bit of a spanking in the market, because they underestimated their competition.
Well, who wouldn't at this point?
Yeah, exactly. They kind of needed the reminder. It's obviously on my list, good tech, blockchain. I'm into the cryptocurrency. We talked about that. VPN services. I've had one for now a year and a half. Just because I kind of was I got a good deal on it and I got some good recommendations. I can't stress the VPN service, or I can't praise it enough. The one I use is called PIA. It allows, it's $35 a year, and it allows up to 5 devices to be installed, which includes my phone. You can also, if you have a router and you have put third-party firmware on it, or even some other ones can support. I could actually put my whole house behind the VPN. On my router. Cool. I don't, because I don't want to lock my speeds down for everybody. I only require privacy on some of the stuff that I browse from. Google couldn't have the rest of them. And then the other good tech that I'm really excited about that I really hate is the solar shingles. I really hate them. Because I didn't get them. I had to get a new roof anyway, and I think I could have gotten. I don't think they're doing solar shingles in Utah yet, but
yeah, my friend, he's building a house right now, and he was really trying to get the solar shingles on there.
Right. How'd it go for him?
Well, I don't think you could even get them till next year.
How'd it go? It didn't.
It didn't.
Yep.
They look from the actual. So Elon Musk showed a picture of his house that he actually has them on, and they look fantastic.
Yeah,
I thought they were gonna
just like shingles.
I thought they were gonna be garbage. I thought they were gonna underproduce. I thought they were gonna have issues with hail or whatever. But like they just seem amazing.
Do you think he ever gets tired of just winning?
I
just
don't know.
all the time. It seems like he never comes out with something.
We're gonna talk about this later about him, what he's doing with his space program and the frivolity of that. But anyway, so that's my list of best tech. I mean, there's been a whole bunch of others too, but that's kind of the ones I follow.
Nice, Jarron.
All right, mine's a little bit more gadget based compared to Owen.
Coop.
Because Owen's is kind of more theoretical and boring.
Big picture. Big picture tech.
Yeah, exactly.
Boring. I got that. I heard that. I felt that. It's cool.
So, favorite tech, 2 of them are consoles. 1, Nintendo Switch. It is a very, very cool console.
Agreed.
We've talked about it ad nauseum. So, number 2, Xbox One X.
Agreed.
Such an awesome thing. It's very solid, built awesomely, is powerful.
You didn't get the one that has Scorpio on it, do you?
Yeah, I did.
Did it have the little Master Chief on it?
Huh?
That's inside.
Oh, yeah.
It is?
You have to open it up. Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. Like little details like that.
Yeah. Sorry, Owen.
I want it. Every time I hear about it, I'm like, maybe I could rob Jarron.
Hey, what was that other thing that it was a controller that when you push it up, it has a little message for you? What was that? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. That was on the Switch.
Is that Switch?
Yeah, the Pearl controller.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't an Xbox
like
thing,
a fortune
but
cookie?
No.
Like a message of the day?
There's like a little message in the Pro controller.
It says like thank you or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it says.
My third most favorite gadget, the iPhone 10.
X. Aren't the Apple people calling it the iPhone X?
I'd like to, but then I feel stupid because Apple calls it the 10.
Oh.
Like I said last episode, it's basically the Palm Pre, but good, and I love it.
All right.
It's just so solidly built. I love solidly built things, as you can tell.
Is that why you work out so much and you're so toned?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just keep going.
All right.
Moving on.
Number 4, this is kind of out of left field here. The Bissell Crosswave.
That's a vacuum.
That's right.
Is that a handheld one?
No. Okay, so I just barely got this. It is brilliant.
How do you know that you like it? You just barely got it.
I've used it a couple times, and it works great. Before, to clean my floors, I had a steam mop. But steam mops, they don't do too well on hardwood floors because the steam could damage hardwood.
Humble brag.
So anyway, I was looking into other solutions, and I saw this commercial. And I think for the first time ever, a commercial actually sold me on something.
It actually worked. That's why there's billions in that industry.
Yeah.
Because they can get to you, Jarron.
So what the Bissell Crosswave is, it's a vacuum and a mop all in one. So you don't have to vacuum the floor and then mop it. It vacuums and mops at the same time. So
it cuts a whole step out.
Yeah, it shoots water onto the floor and has like a little brush that scrubs the floor, and then it sucks it back up.
Whoa.
Gross.
Yeah, so it leaves your floor pretty much dry. It doesn't use steam. It works so great. Like the first time I used it, the whole tank was just like black.
I'm gonna pitch it to my wife. How much was it?
$250. I bought
not bad.
it refurbished on eBay for
Nice.
like $130, I think.
Yeah, you sent me the link, and I have a very small floor space of hard tile, and I'm just like
Small space of hard.
small space of hard tile, and I'm like, oh, this looks good,
Small space of hard. That's what Tony hears all the time.
but it's about my tile.
Is that what you're calling it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know if I don't have enough to justify this new cool vacuum gadget.
Yeah, it's
Someday.
cool. And then lastly, but not leastly, the Tesla Model 3. It looks so beautiful. I want it. It starts at $35,000, but the model you'll actually want to buy is probably more like $49,000.
Yeah.
What does it come with over the? Is that the bigger battery?
Bigger battery, and then it'll give you like all the premium upgrades.
Yeah.
It won't give you the autopilot at $49. You have to spend another $10 for that.
I really wish that they would make that upgrade you can do down the road.
If you get
Like
Well,
even if
it is and it
I
isn't.
I hate when companies
I
put stuff
hate-
in their devices that you can unlock with a fee later, like hardware that's just not usable until you
Right.
pay them a licensing fee. But in this case,
I would do it.
I would
They
be okay if they did
do
that.
do that actually. So if you buy the hardware, it's like a $5,000-$6,000 upgrade, and you can choose to upgrade the software later on.
For the autopilot
Yeah.
stuff, so they do have an option.
Yeah, they do. It'll
you have
cost you $1,000 to $2,000 more to do
yeah.
it later on. But given that it's kind of the first generation, I don't know.
Yeah.
If I, you know,
That's a tough choice.
Yeah, it is.
If I was making that decision, that'd be a tough choice.
Yeah. So they're not really making too many yet this year, but they announced it this year, so I'm counting it in 2017.
Is that the one thing that Elon hasn't succeeded in? Is mass producing these?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mainly
I'd
because
say so.
and I think that's because his production line has been so he has to rely on so many other sources, like
Yeah.
in an
Yep.
industry and in an industry that doesn't really want him there.
Yeah, so I read a story
Yeah.
a few months ago. They were having a particular problem with this one company. That they were like the biggest bottleneck, so they just ended up buying them.
They pulled up Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. How did you get my house back? Oh, I bought the
I
bank.
bought the bank.
All right, James.
Really quick before we get too far past it. Speaking about commercials that sell you on something.
What did you just get sold on?
No, I didn't get sold on anything. Pause this podcast right now and go and watch the chat books
Oh, I thought you were
advertisement.
I thought you got sold on the link that Jarron just put in the Slack. I thought that's what you were buying just now with your credit card.
You should
Anyway.
know by now. James doesn't actually check Slack.
Oh right. Sorry, James. Continue.
So anyhow, the best gadget so far this year that I've tried out is starting off strong. I got a Mavic, or at least for the time being, yeah, Mavic Pro. That deal at Costco is too good to pass, so I just went and got it. It goes through like the 28th, and I don't know.
So jealous. I want that.
Yeah, I'd let you fly it after this, but
I understand.
But we know.
Hey, I've flown at least 3 times since I destroyed your first drone, and I didn't crash anything. So
I'm glad that
Yeah.
you didn't crash the.
But it's another overcast day out there. The wind was blowing a little bit earlier. We don't. I mean, it's
wouldn't.
almost the same.
I wouldn't do
It's
it.
almost the same setup.
I had an opportunity.
I wouldn't trust myself.
I had an opportunity yesterday to fly it, which is kind of a bummer considering it was like blue skies yesterday,
Yeah.
and I couldn't get it up.
Common problem.
Yeah.
Only one left is you, Jarron.
Nintendo Switch for obvious reasons. I got a bunch of Amazon Echoes around my house. We got like the big base one, and we got the dots. And honestly, I didn't think that we were going to use it as much as we do, but we use them all the time.
That's interesting.
Setting alarms, we linked them up so we can play music all around the house. We listen to X96 in the morning.
So
We
I have,
order
I have
stuff off of
something to
it.
say about the competition a little bit later.
I got an Apple Watch. I love it. It helps me keep track of my time. The new computer that Tony helped me build.
A watch
It's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
helps you keep track of your time.
No, it helps me keep track of my schedule.
Oh, okay.
New computer.
And yeah, the new computer is awesome. It hums.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is I wanted it
No.
to be above the ground computer,
There's no negatives.
but most likely it's going to be a below the ground computer, which kind of sucks. Because like I was going to mount it to the wall,
the ground? What do
or
you-
below the desk.
Oh,
Sorry.
Like,
okay.
you're gonna bury
How are
it?
you going to do this?
What kind of computer?
I am now interested.
You weren't interested about what I was talking about before?
Earth
I
cool.
was too.
No, I wasn't.
Why are you getting so defensive?
Huh? Shut up. Move on to your list. Keep going.
That was the last
my
thing.
list.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
See how fast I
Good.
was?
It's a good list. Let's see. So my top 5 good
Where'd
tech.
you get this? It's a little Mr. Meeseeks
So
stress
the
ball.
Meeseeks stress ball came in a mystery Meeseeks box at Hot Topic.
This is amazing.
Well, it's a Rick and Morty box, but it's shaped like the Meeseeks box. Anyway, so best of this year. I got a lot of the same stuff as everyone else on here. Actually, Switch for obvious reasons. Xbox One X. Although the one downside I think the Xbox One X has, honestly, is they should have come out at a slightly cheaper price point to
I agree.
compete with the PS4 Pro. If they'd have done
Yeah.
even $450, $50 over the PS4 Pro, it'd have been an easier sell for people. So that's my one criticism.
Yeah,
on that
I didn't buy just based on price alone.
and then Tesla 3 I put on there because you're bringing affordable. Not well, I don't know about affordable, but more affordable, semi-affordable, high quality electric cars to the masses.
Yeah, I like seeing the disruption.
Yep. And then I also put on there the AMD Ryzen and Threadripper CPUs for disruption as well.
Yeah.
And I liked it so much I invested in my new rig. I got the Ryzen 7 1700X. Fantastic little CPU for what I need it for.
Do you wish you would have waited for the Threadripper?
Part of me says yes, but a part of me says no because it still does. It's got more than enough power for everything I use it for. And if I would have gone with Threadripper, I know I couldn't have gone with the 8-core. I would have gone for probably the 12, and that would have put me. My build would have been another probably $600 or $800 more than what I paid.
With my limited knowledge on how to build computers now, since I'm kind of an expert.
Yeah. Right.
Since you've required help
what I've
each
noticed
time.
is what?
Since you've required help each time, you're an expert.
Yeah.
I'm not going to finish my thought.
I want to, James.
I want to hear what you're
There's
going
so
to say.
few and far between. I want to hear it.
This is a harsh episode, number 4.
No, now he's leaving.
Oh no!
Hey, at least finish the thought.
I do want to hear what you were
Now
going to
we
say.
know. Don't make 3 insults in a row.
That's it. That's his limit. That pushed him. He got up.
Oh, jeez. I actually feel a little bit bad.
Alexa, I'm sorry that we did that to your husband.
She doesn't listen.
Oh.
I couldn't.
James, I'm sorry if you ever re-listen to it.
She'd probably applaud us.
Anyway, yeah. I really like the Ryzen and the Threadrippers. He's coming back. He's probably getting a drink or something. And then my last one on there that you guys didn't have is the only one that hasn't been repeated, the Apple A11 CPU.
That is good tech.
Yeah, seriously.
I needed to go downstairs and play with your cat to cheer me up. He's the one thing that can't talk back to me.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. What were we talking about?
I just said my last thing on my gadget.
Yeah, I know, but
best
what were we
of.
talking about before you guys?
Your
shunned
expertise
me out of the
in
room.
CPUs.
Oh, not in CPUs, but just in building computers in general. I've noticed a common phrase is, "Do you wish you would have waited for X?"
Right.
I feel like if you're always waiting for something, you're never going to get it built.
That's true.
Yeah.
The market
It's true.
moves. Yeah, the market moves so quickly. Like there's so much new stuff coming out. They have to.
Like my computer isn't even. It might be a month old, and I've already had a couple of people say like, "Don't you wish you would have waited for?" And then like insert just any part.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to put
It's
LED
true.
strips in, and RGB strips, and I still might, but
still can.
But yeah, I don't know.
You just have to make the plunge at some point.
Yep.
But back to the A11, a desktop class processor
In your phone.
in a
Yeah.
freaking phone.
It's an amazing feat.
So cool.
Nobody
So-
even comes close to that.
No.
Actually.
And
I was
it's-
looking that up last night. I was like, because I wanted to see if I was going to add ARM processors to my ARM computers.
Sure.
Are you talking about the terrible video game?
No, like adding ARM chips to laptops, and I thought maybe I was going to put that on my list, but they're not ready.
No.
So speaking of the A11, Google he poached one of Apple's core engineers
Oh,
for
really?
their processors. Yeah.
I hope if Google starts putting out its own processor for its Pixel lines, that'd be awesome. As long as it's good, anyway.
Well, yeah, we got to talk about the Pixel 2 on her.
But yeah, so the A11 is actually, I always make the joke that, and it hurts me every time I make it, that wait for the next generation of Qualcomm processors so it can be as fast as the previous generation of Apple processors.
It's so sad because it's actually true.
Yep. All right, let's see. We got another list. Our other list. This is kind of a year-end review episode. So sorry if we don't talk about enough new stuff. But we're going to do our worst of list now.
I'm most excited for the worst list.
The
here.
worst list of the worst tech gadget game, whatever you want to call it, that came out 2017.
Can for this one? Can we go like one and one and one and one, and then just go around the table? Just keep going.
Yeah,
Sure.
That's a good idea.
Good idea, James.
You know what? You guys don't have to overcompensate. Now it's almost pandering
All
to
right.
the other
I'm
direction.
sorry.
Jaron was insincere. Mine was sincere.
Did you guys see how hard you laughed after I told that joke just a second ago? All you guys were like, "Don't kill yourself."
What joke?
What
Never
joke?
mind.
Oh.
Gosh dang it.
Oh.
Go, Owen.
Here's my. Mine was a recent addition. Mine's the Plex Media Server.
What?
I'm not happy with them.
Are you serious?
For the
Did
last.
they finally get their book?
So,
updated?
I am a huge supporter of Plex Media Server. I love everything it does. I love the app, and for the most part, it's been fantastic. I've had it for about 5 years. I got inducted into you get this half off Plex Pass membership, and I bought it because I'm like, man, it's a lifetime pass. I for $75, and that's I bought the lifetime pass.
Yep.
And
once you buy the pass,
once I bought the pass, now for the last 4 months, my subtitles stop midway. The server constantly crashes, but doesn't say it's crashed. Like Jarron the other day was like, "Is your Plex down?" And I was like, "No, people are watching it right now, but it wasn't accepting any new connections." And you start to think it's yourself, and I'm like, maybe I need to rebuild my server, and then whatever. And I'm like, fine, I don't have
time. An abusive boyfriend.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't have time for that. All these people that are watch shows or whatever on my Plex, they can just whatever deal with it. But then I got onto the forums. I decided to really do a deep dive, and I dug into the forums, and it's a known issue that they've had for at least 3, I think, full releases
just for Plex Pass people? Or
no, this is for major releases for everybody that they haven't fixed the subtitles, and everybody's complaining about it. And then the same thing now with this server settings unavailable, where my server just stops responding and stops taking connections.
Do you use subtitles that much?
I always go on there.
I have
to
kids.
Just turn
I basically
them on.
read all of my movies and TV shows because we have kids, and I'm held hostage by my 22-month-old that doesn't sleep. She's like the lightest sleeper ever.
But you love her.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But it's more like Stockholm Syndrome because I'm hostage in my own house.
I love her, but I don't know why.
When she's asleep, I'm afraid to move rooms because I can't go up and down the stairs without waking her up.
No, that's how it is.
It is.
My son, when he was that age, he was like a freaking ninja. You like tiptoe through the room, and suddenly he wakes up and stares at you. And then it's all over.
And then it's nap.
then you're not sleeping the rest of the night.
Or nap time's over, and the rest of the day is horrible. Anyway, have kids; they're great. But I'm really they got on my worst of list just in the last 4 months because of that. And then
your kids or Plex?
Plex.
Oh.
So they have so many people.
I just got that.
So many forums.
They got some bad QA right now.
They do, and they're not responding very well. They're just like, send us your logs. So people are like, here's my freaking logs, and then there's no fix.
I wonder
every
if
patch. I jumped onto the beta release channel, so I would get beta updates, and even then, every single I've gotten like 4 or 5. They're real. I feel like they're trying to fix it, but they're not communicating. And so every patch I've gotten says fixes issue with subtitles or fixes issue with server not responding. But they're not communicating, and it doesn't fix the problem. I'm really pissed off. I finally invested in them, spent the money to get the Plex Pass, and that if I was getting it for free, I wouldn't. I
kind of feel like that's how Plex has always been. I hopped on the Plex bandwagon in 2008 before they had their media server,
right?
And the software was like always buggy. It was always up and down. Sometimes they'd fix it, then the next release would always break it.
Yeah, it's like they're running the Wild West, where they're just like, hey, this is all just a fun project, and if it works, it works, and it's over when it's over, and good luck in the meantime. So.
I wonder if they did a big code, what's it called? Not reconfiguration, overhaul.
It's them trying to implement security.
Is that what it is?
After I've read about it really, really deeply, they're trying to implement forced secure connections, and not every device out there, like PS3s. A lot of people still have PS3s, but they don't accept. PS3 will not pass secure connections. It wants to just do HTTP instead of HTTPS to the Plex server. And
that was a close one.
Anyway,
all right, Plex.
That's that. Yeah, it got on my shiz list for
Jarron. What's on your shiz list? Tier 1.
Okay, so this was on my best list also, but my first one's Battlefront 2.
It's also on your worst list.
Yeah.
For good reason.
I loved it just because it's Star Wars, but that doesn't give it a pass. I wish they would have done a better job.
Yep, EA really screwed the pooch on this one with their loot boxes and everything.
It's not just the loot boxes. It's just, especially, the thing I hate the most is the hero gameplay.
Yeah.
I actually like the normal gameplay where it's first person, but the heroes, it just doesn't feel good.
You try so hard to earn your hero, and then you get it, and you can't use it because there's already 1 or 2 on the map.
Like even on the single player campaign, I just don't like playing the heroes.
They're not fun to play. Just in general,
it forces third person perspective, which I don't like. The movement just feels weird, and it just feels better shooting a gun in that game.
Interesting.
What I saw on Reddit, which was kind of funny and ironic, was they're like, it's ironic when they nailed lightsaber fighting back in
Jedi Knight.
in Jedi Knight back in 2003.
It felt so good in Jedi Knight.
And now, I mean, you're literally like slashing through the other person, and they're taking bits of damage, but it's kind of like a visual. If you spend this much time like polishing the game, making it look shiny and all this stuff.
I love the shooting in that game. I love the space battles in that game. The hero stuff sucks.
There you go. James.
Yeah. So for mine, which is kind of ironic, is a couple of weeks ago I tried out the Spark, and I actually don't like the Spark. I'm in the
Really?
minority. Yeah.
Tell me more, because I'm so interested
The wind was
in
blowing a little bit when I flew it the first time, and it literally took it away.
this. Really?
Yeah. Like,
How gusty was the wind?
it wasn't very gusty. It literally took it away. It just feels cheap to me. I get it. It's light. It's super portable. It folds up kind of like the Mavic does.
Can you
but-
fly it inside?
Yeah, I flew it inside, but the problem is by default it has the area sensors on it, and so it's beeping at you the entire time.
Every wall, every corner.
wall, every corner.
Because it's small enough that you could have fun with it inside.
Yeah, but you got to go into the settings and turn all that stuff off, and I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't have a good experience. I gave it, quite a while. I flew it like 3, 4, 5 times, give or take a little bit, but I had it follow me, and the follow mode isn't very good in my opinion.
So
kind of a
definitely
letdown.
upgrade to the Mavic.
Yeah,
There you go.
Got it.
Mine was Battlefront 2 as well, for the same reasons that Jarron talked about. All right, moving along to your second guy. Owen?
Oh, hey, I was not in the right place on my show notes. Mine's a toss-up. So the other thing is general acceptance of no headphone jack in smartphones. I really hate that.
Boom. I like it.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm putting that out there. Is that Apple?
Well, Google's doing it now.
I know, but Apple
Moto's
influenced the
doing it.
market,
Yeah.
and they were. I hate that they did this whole. It was kind of like peer pressure, like you're not brave if you don't do it, and now everybody's doing it. And I generally don't like it. I think it's tech that costs little real estate in the phone itself. But I think they're doing it because the march towards flexible phones or
They want to sell their own wireless.
and
That's what it
headphones.
is.
yeah,
Yep.
and to push the headphone market. I feel like I'm being corralled into having to buy some sort of wireless headphone tech that I don't need or want.
It's not coincidence that both Google and Apple released wireless earbuds the same year they got rid of the headphone jack.
Right.
Yep.
So I don't like feeling corralled by the two big choices in the market that I usually tend to trust as far as cell phones go. Like I switched over to Google products like the Nexus 6P.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Absolutely, yeah, and absolutely loved it. And now I've got the Pixel, and absolutely love that phone. But I just hate that these huge corporations get to tell me what I have to put
Yep.
up with.
Yeah, and then it'll be interesting to see at the beginning of 2018 when Samsung announces their new Galaxy S9 phone, see if they keep the jack or not.
Right.
It'll be interesting. Jaron.
My second worst is the iPhone 8. It's not a bad phone, but it just doesn't need to exist. The iPhone 10 should have come in at the iPhone 8 price.
Yeah,
agreed.
And the iPhone 8, they shouldn't have even put it out, I think.
Does the iPhone 8 have that same facial recognition? The
Nope.
cutout.
Does not.
Is that where they're saying the extra 200 or whatever bucks comes from?
I guess.
Plus the giant screen and
Yeah.
everything. Bigger battery. All right.
All right, you guys ready for some hot street garbage?
course.
Arms. The video
Oh,
game
yeah.
Arms.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I read your
spent-
list and I thought you actually meant arms.
I hate my arms.
I just never know with you, James.
I do more with these arms. No, I hated that game. I dropped the full price on it. I dropped $60 because everybody was playing it, and I wanted to be in the loop, and I wanted to get the motion
Is
controls.
it a Switch game?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I probably played it for maybe 3 hours because I felt bad
That's
for
a pretty
getting
good
it.
shake, though.
Yeah.
3 hours on a game.
I didn't get any better, and the
I-
game sucks, and I hate it.
I played half hour on the beta, and I didn't like any bit of it.
Yeah, it was awful.
That's what to me. It's weird how Nintendo is that they're super one or the other.
A lot of people liked it, though.
You know, you have games like Mario Odyssey and Zelda, which are huge, worth every penny you spend. And then they have games like Arms and 1-2 Switch, where it's like
and Splatoon 2.
It's like this should have been
Splatoon 2,
this should have been a $20 game.
Arms, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you nailed it.
If Splatoon 2 were a $20 game, it would be great. I would have bought it.
I
and
picked
been
up
happy with it.
Splatoon 2 the other day. I played it for another maybe 2-ish hours, and then set it right back down.
Yeah, it's fun for 2 hours.
Couple-
You just
2
get
hours
sick
every
of
couple
it.
months, and
Yeah.
but the thing
Agreed.
with the Switch is right now there's so many freaking good games on it that you don't even have to. Before it was like Stockholm syndrome. It's like I need something to play to keep me interested in the console. But now you got freaking Skyrim.
Switch has had a really big fourth quarter for sure, as far as games go.
But now we're going to go into a little bit of a lull.
Yeah. Well, every system is for the next probably 2-3 months. Let's see, the second thing on my crap list is the Pixel XL2.
I'm glad I didn't jump in on that. I almost jumped in on that
Yeah.
over the Pixel.
The Pixel XL2, it had the potential to be a big disruptor as far as Android phones go, because you were supposed to be getting super high quality hardware with Google's instant updates and all the great stuff of the pure Android ecosystem. And then they screwed it up
With the screen, with something as normal and simple as the screen.
They tried to be the natural screen color,
right.
which was weird because all their marketing said vivid OLED, and their screen was the opposite of vivid.
Right.
They even had to put out a patch after the phone came out to try and saturate the colors more to make it.
So it didn't burn in, right?
No. This
Or
was
is
just to make the colors pop a little
right.
more.
Yeah.
And that's a personal preference thing, whatever. But the burn-in issue that they should have already known about, because people were finding out about this burn-in issue within a week of owning the phone.
Right. Oh.
And it's like, did you guys do any quality testing on this device before you put it out?
I mean, a week.
A week later.
1 week.
When it
Like
goes into,
normally you find a bug like that. It's like, after 6 months or 3 months.
there's burn-in
because
6 months later.
That's way past their threshold for having to test hardware.
Exactly.
But 1 week.
I get it with
It's
some smaller devices, but when it's going to go into mass distribution like
Yeah.
that, it doesn't make any sense to me.
And when you look at other phones that have had OLED screens for years and they don't have this issue, it's like Samsung,
Plus my
LG,
iPhone's
new screen,
Apple's new phone.
yeah.
I have a big beef with them too. In this version, in the Pixel 2, they pushed out some hardware that is supposed to prevent them from being downgraded, and they're calling it a security upgrade. But they Android has historically been the open source,
Right.
like do what you want with your phone, right? They make fun of Apple for controlling the complete user experience.
Android is not open source. I mean, they say it is,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it effectively isn't.
It is not. Exactly. And now with this new hardware that's on the Pixel 2, it actually saves something into a chip that prevents downgrading the software to an older version, because they don't want to. They're sick of having to go back. So like when you want to mod your phone, unlock your phone, typically the easiest way to do it is to go back to an earlier version that had the security flaw,
Right.
and crack in that way,
Right.
and then move forward. And so now
They're trying to prevent that.
and not only are they trying to do that, they have that on their phone already. They're pressuring the third-party sellers like Samsung and Nokia or whatever to push it on theirs as well.
Yeah.
And so it's like it kind of bugs me, the Pixel 2. That's I guess not so much the Pixel 2 as Google, but
Sure.
anyway.
Well,
and this actually made my list too. The Pixel 2 XL, specifically the screen. The phone was just so close to perfection.
yeah. And then to have it stumble on something like that. And
Yeah.
honestly, I will also knock them down for taking out the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack.
Yeah.
No reason to do that. They pride themselves on being more consumer friendly than Apple.
They even razzed Apple on it when they released the Pixel.
Yep. And then
they were like, "And it has a headphone jack."
And they also razzed Apple on having a phone that the big one and the little one have no sort of disparity between features, because both of them have optical image stabilization.
Right.
Unlike with the iPhone 7 Plus and the 7, only the big one had optical image stabilization. Basically, what I'm saying is they pride themselves on being better than Apple as far as that kind of stuff goes. But what they do, they followed Apple right into the no 3.5 millimeter headphone jack territory.
To push their own headphones, I feel like.
Right, which are garbage,
They are.
by the way.
Yeah.
All right, Owen, what's your third?
So my solar panels.
They made the
they made the worst
crap
of.
Dude, that
they
sucks that you spent that much
they
on
made,
it.
They
that
made
much
my worst
research.
of because not so much the panels themselves. I got high quality panels and everything, but the process of getting them was like the tech involved. Like it's been one headache after another, and now to come to realize, especially since I've been using a lot more power in my cryptocurrency endeavors, knowing that when they build you a system, they can't build you bigger than 99% offset. So they take your power bill for a year, they average that, and that's the system they build. They can't build bigger than that because
Why?
Because state law won't require it. It was part of the deal with getting solar, and they don't want you to be able to produce so much more power that you're creating all these extra credits in the.
That's dumb.
I don't. It's dumb.
What?
So and so if I want to add something to my house, like I'm passionate about saltwater fish tanks. I couldn't afford them, so. I took my saltwater fish tanks down. They take a lot of heat and they take a lot of power to run. And now cryptocurrency is almost the same offset in power. And to put another panel up there, they like charge you. You have to have them come. Like the city has to come back in and re-inspect it and like all this stuff that's not there. And I would say, I mean, solar panels are fantastic if you really, really have capital to put into them. If you're doing, I didn't have a ton of capital put into them, and I had to rely on the tax credits to really get them to a reasonable area. Anyway, just my whole solar experience has been kind of meh. Like it just the tech.
Not what you were hoping for.
Yeah, and the tech is not like for 6 months of last year. I had them calling me every day, being like, "Your panels aren't reporting. Are you using power?" And I'm like, I've told you every time you've called that the Wi-Fi repeater that they had to bring into my house to connect the solar system to my gateway is garbage.
Oh, jeez.
So they just kept calling, and they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll update that." And they called, "Hey, your solar panels aren't reporting. Are they broken?"
You almost want to go down to their service center and be like, "Listen, like you keep calling me. Send a tech out."
I almost got so they had to bring in another repeater to put halfway through my house to leapfrog it over.
Seriously?
And it's only 30 feet.
They couldn't just put a better repeater in?
They almost put a SIM chip in, which is what I wanted. So I was hoping they'd just put the SIM card in. But anyway, that
there you go.
I'm not pleased.
Jarron.
Garbage.
All right, Google Home Mini. I hate that thing.
What?
Yeah, so I bought it like
you got it for like $5.
Well, that's part of the bad experience.
I knew it.
So the $25 coupon was actually for Google Express.
You can only use it in the Google store, right?
Yeah, so it's Walmart through Google Express, and they have like 2% of what they normally have in Walmart.
I told you something like
and
that
so,
would happen.
Honestly, the best thing I could find was Ticket to Ride, the board game. So I bought that for super cheap. Yay.
Did you need it though?
No.
Time to flip that on KSL or eBay or something
I
crazy.
asked my wife, "Do you want this board game?" She's like, sure. Okay, it's ours.
Done.
Anyway, the actual product, I hate it. It doesn't connect to the music service I actually use, but that's not really Google's fault. That's
Is
kind
that
of
Apple?
Yeah.
Don't you connect to Apple?
So that's kind of the feud between Apple and Google.
Yeah, amity there.
The smart home integration sucks so bad. I connected all my smart switches, lights, and stuff. So one of the switches worked great for a day, then it just stopped working. I tell it to turn it on, and Google's like, "Okay, turning on this switch." Then it just doesn't turn on. It stopped working for another switch just like yesterday for some reason. I reconnect the devices. It just still doesn't work. So
Power saving feature.
So like all my smart switches they just stop working randomly over time.
So it's janky.
Yeah, it's janky, and I just don't like it. There's not a single use case I have for it right now. Have
you played games on it? Then you need to get Teddy. You need to get Teddy playing some like 21 Questions or Mad Libs.
It is pretty funny to hear Teddy like, "Hey Google, do this."
Yeah,
and then it just doesn't do it.
Just like a real parent.
Creating realistic expectations in your child.
It's not nearly responsive enough. Like I said last episode, the Echo devices are so much more responsive than this. saying "Hey Siri" is a lot more responsive than actually using the Google Home Mini. Yeah, it's not a good device. I would not recommend it. I was so gung-ho about it, I actually bought one for my brother for Christmas. Hey Ty, you were going to get one.
Now you're giving him more of a curse.
I hated it so much. I actually went back to Walmart to return it.
Wow.
Yeah, I stepped into Walmart to return
You
this
went
thing.
into the store.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
is there something bad about walking into Walmart?
For Jarron, there is. It's a status thing. He doesn't do that.
I don't like Walmart. And so now he's not getting a Google Home Mini because I hated it so much. So
You're welcome, Ty.
Give him a pat on the back instead. It's about as valuable.
So there you go. There you have it.
All right.
I would not recommend a smart home speaker to anyone at this point.
James.
Apparently, I just didn't hate that much stuff this year. I'm out of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Moving along. Where's my list at? Oh, here we go. My number 3 is the AMD RX Vega 64 graphics
Really?
card.
Did you not like it?
No, it's garbage.
For video compute or?
For pretty much everything, because its price to performance ratio is skewed.
It's expensive.
It is expensive. You're paying almost GTX NVIDIA GTX 1080 Ti money, but you're only getting 1080 performance, not 1080 Ti performance. Which is funny because their RX Vega 56, the lower end model, is actually a really good performance for price, because that one comes in at about 1070 price. And it is over 1070 performance.
Yeah, it's like 10. I think
it's almost 1080 performance.
I'm like 1070 Ti.
Yeah,
like
it's basically 1080 or 1070 Ti performance for 1070 money. If you can find it, it's usually sold out because of
they are super hard to find.
The miners and such. But the Vega 64, not a good performance proposition for your money. So. Good try, AMD. Oh, the other thing is it uses so much power.
Yeah, they are hot.
If you want to crank that thing up to max, you're looking at almost 400 watts per card, which is crazy. When you get that same level of performance out of a 1080 for 180 watts,
right?
It's insane. So better luck next year, AMD, on the graphics card front.
Yep.
But you did knock it out of the park with your CPU this year.
Yeah.
So
go ahead and release something new, and the miners will take them all and stress test them for you.
There you go.
And then throw them back on the market, and used and burned out from the mines,
and make people unhappy. Owen.
So the last, I've got another one on here, but Amazon sales tax. I really hate that started.
That's a Utah thing.
Yeah, but it's
the state of Utah.
I live here, so it's pissing me off.
So it's all what
like I used to. That wasn't a thing as much. Now it's like it's there, and it's
technically you were supposed to report.
Yeah, I know. I know what I was supposed to do.
There's a lot of stuff we were supposed
to do. It's on my worst of list because now it's Amazon finally is like final. Amazon kind of waited. They were hoping that the honor system would work. I don't know why anybody would ever think that when money's concerned. But now it's a thing here in Utah, and it really kind of
didn't some famous person say a while ago, like if you have the opportunity to cheat on your taxes, you absolutely will. Like it's not like a question; you will.
I mean, cheat and manipulate are very similar in that regard. Like
as a CPA, I must recommend that you do not cheat on your taxes.
Well, yeah.
That's all I can say.
But there's only a slight difference between cheating on your taxes and manipulating it and finding loopholes in the law. And
But you should not pay more taxes than
you legally have to. So export all your money out somewhere and hide it, and then pay taxes on nothing, and then live. That's basically cheating.
There's a big KSL story the other day about the Christmas parties that like government departments use. I thought that was kind of
$25,000 golden toilet seats and that kind of thing. Anyway.
Jarron.
So my number 4 was the Google Pixel XL 2 screen. So I'm going to skip over that one since I already said it and go to my number 5, which is Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, yeah. You don't like the facial expressions?
So that game wasn't like horrible. I'll still play it someday if I find it for like $5 or something.
I got that game for free with my mining rig.
It's just disappointing that a game franchise that was so high quality really struggled with this last game. But it was just the disappointment that was the worst for me.
That's too bad. I will play it as well one of these days, but there's other better games in front of it.
Yeah,
Right now.
Exactly. That's the problem. There's so many better games out there.
And you'll never find someone who enjoyed. Well, you might, but you'd be hard pressed to find someone who enjoyed the original trilogy more than I did. I love the Mass Effect.
Yeah,
games.
so did I. They were so
How
great.
did you play it when you played it? Did you play it like... Because there's a couple of different styles, right?
Oh, I played Paragon every time, all the
What's
way.
Me
Paragon
too.
again?
The good guy.
No, sorry. I mean, like, isn't there a way that you
Talking
can play
about-
where it's more story versus more action?
No,
I thought that was like a choice it gives you in the beginning.
not really.
Oh, never mind.
You play the game, you get all the action, and you get all the story. It's all rolled into one.
Cool.
James. Oh yeah, you already ran out.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I didn't hate. I don't hate very much. Generally a pretty happy person
Good for you. Good for you.
until I find out I'm number 4. And
Quiet number 4.
so,
Intel Extreme CPUs. I think this year were garbage.
okay.
The
Owen? No. Oh, sorry.
I'm not done.
I thought you were done.
No.
Oh, okay.
They are powerful, but they are insanely overpriced when compared to your performance. You can get a CPU for $2,000 that your use case for it that would actually make it worth it is so small that I don't know. Intel basically released these CPUs to try and compete with Threadripper from AMD to say, yeah, we have
Of course, what you want.
we have 18-core CPU too. You're going to pay twice as much for it, and it's going to perform just slightly better. But yeah, we offer that. Intel set those out, in my opinion, as a reactionary statement to AMD.
I think they're
stuff.
reeling a little bit in that regard.
Yeah.
like, which I like. 'Cause
It's good. I love the competition in the marketplace.
Yeah, like I said, I like to see them get a sound spanking in
Yep.
that regard.
And so they, I really think they missed the boat on those. And the fact that the other big thing is AMD releases their Threadrippers at their different tiers, but the only difference is the amount of cores that are available on the different tiers for Threadripper. Whereas Intel releases their high-end enthusiast line, and there is a difference between cores and PCI Express lanes and everything as you go up and down the line of CPUs there. Whereas with, like I said, AMD, you get 64 PCI Express lanes no matter what version of Threadripper you purchase. So, anyway, a little bit of a tech rant right there. Intel.
You ranting on
All right,
CPU?
is there a...
I'm out.
I'm out.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
sorry.
only got one more then. Battery tech in general. It
Oh,
hasn't
yeah.
progressed.
Come
and that really
on.
disappoints me.
I needed that to happen because I wanted to see Tesla's batteries kind of take off, and have them be able to actually, do what they say they're going to do with their semi trucks and stuff. Anyway.
James needs a potty break.
Yeah, we need to take a potty break, guys.
This is like the longest episode
This
ever.
is a super long segment.
The list went a lot longer than
And
I
number
thought.
4Z's got to do a number 2Z.
Just go do it.
No, fine. All right. No,
Unless
then I'm going to
you
miss
guys-
something. You guys are
you
going to
guys
make me
need
feel
a break
stupid.
too,
No,
Jarron?
no.
I could use a coughing break.
All right, fine. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back, and you won't even realize that we took a break because of editing.
Technology.
Yes, I affected the show.
I haven't actually broken yet.
your bowels.
And we're back. Hey, look, it is recording.
Hey.
Huzzah!
Okay. Well, now you know that that's a possibility.
Yep. Okay.
It does kind of make me nervous that you didn't save that.
You can't save
though.
it before it's... I didn't close the recording. I just
Yeah.
paused the recording. You can't save it when
Can't
it's
drop
paused.
it out. Yeah.
You have to save it after you've stopped it.
Oh.
Anyway, all right, we got a couple of news stories we want to go through. This is going to be the longest episode ever. You're welcome.
Christmas bonus.
Christmas bonus.
If you
right
didn't
there.
get one from your company, you got one from us.
Which if it
Oh,
helps,
that is a terrible
we
consolation.
are, we're
No,
a little
it's
bit more
not.
coherent now. Sorry.
All right, we got to hit on Apple slowing down the iPhones. This is some BS.
Yeah.
well,
No, it's BS.
Part of it's BS. Part of it makes sense.
I think that
That's
Apple
what they're
should have been,
spinning it as.
Apple should have been transparent from the beginning.
I agree.
And given you the option to either switch over to better battery or
Charge more.
or
My
yeah.
question
I
is,
agree with that too. But
hold on.
I think
What is the story before we dive too deep into it?
so. A
for
year
people
in, they released a patch to the iPhone 6s and last year, and now they released a patch for the iPhone 7 this year that will slow down the performance of the processor.
Severely over underclocks the
Not severely. So
1400 to 600.
it brings down the peak frequency, so it doesn't overload the aging battery and make it shut off.
Yeah.
And also it'll it'll prolong battery life for aging batteries, which would normally decrease. And I actually think this is an overall good move for the less knowledgeable people because it makes their phones last longer throughout the day, and it makes it so it won't randomly shut off.
It appeases the masses so that they don't get a flood of people saying, I want my money back for my phone that died after 1 year.
What I think is dumb is they were not transparent about it, and I think it should be a setting that you can turn off.
It should absolutely be a setting.
Yes.
And if they were to patch it and add it as a setting so that you could either choose longer battery life or better performance with shorter battery life, I think they're going to get a lot of people off their back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so to overcome that, you would need to get a brand new battery and it'll increase the performance.
Which I don't understand. It must test the battery in real time.
Yeah, I think so.
It tests the peak charge.
Is that an automatic thing? So you plug it in, the new battery, and then it's good to
automatic.
go?
Mhm.
Apparently, yeah.
Or is it like an update?
I read a story this morning, actually, about a guy who did this. He went and had his battery tested. It tested at 83%
Right.
of capacity. So it degraded 17% basically over the course of the last year or two. And so he had them replace it, even though, according to Apple's diagnostic, anything above 80 is still green and good. He told them to replace it anyway, paid the $79 or whatever it was to have them replace the battery. And he compared his benchmark results from before the battery was replaced to after. And even though it still tested as good, according to Apple, with the new battery, it scored 30% higher
Holy cow.
on benchmarks versus before the other battery.
They should have PR'd this into a good thing.
They could have.
They could have easily said, "Hey, everybody knows it's a fact that these batteries degrade over time.
Yep.
We know that the crystals can only hold so many charges before they just can't anymore. And so our system, in order to make your phone last longer for more bang for your buck, we systematically decrease the processing need to compensate for the battery tech that we all are victims of." And they could have sold that so much better that way, but they didn't.
Yeah, so a real life example, my wife had an iPhone 5S. She's had it for 3 years. I gave it to my mom. My brother, he had a Sony Android phone, Xperia, whatever it was, and he had it for about the same time period. His phone would literally last 2 to 3 hours before it just died.
Yep.
My wife's iPhone 5S, it still lasts the full day, pretty much, and it still worked great. I mean, it's a little slow now, but it lasted through the day. And if I imagine my mother using it, it would work for her perfectly. So in that case, I think that's the right call. But for power users like us, I'd probably want to get my speed back.
Definitely depends on what you're using the phone for. Texting, calling, you'll never notice a difference. So doesn't use that much. But if you're playing games on it or doing power user stuff like Jarron said, you're definitely gonna.
They just should have been transparent about it.
Yeah, like I said, they just stumbled over the PR.
Yep.
And now actually there's a couple class action lawsuits being opened up against them for this. And I don't know what they expect to get out of it. We're all kind of the same victims as far as it goes with battery performance. There's no getting around the science until better batteries come out. Mm-hmm. So I guess the best case they can sue for is that Apple wasn't as transparent as they said. It's actually a cool feature that makes the phone last longer, even though it's old tech. It just really bothers me that they didn't put it out.
And if they did put the setting in there, it would have to be buried deep. So unknowing users would accidentally enable it.
Right. That's true.
What are you talking about? Just put it on your dashboard, man. Swipe up from the bottom, have it be the bottommost button.
Overclock.
It's easy.
Click it, then your phone restarts.
And then it goes. And then you can have a Samsung setting to where you hit it, and then at some point in the day it'll blow up.
Yeah,
it'll be great.
What is that button? Is that an overclock button? No, that's an underclock button.
I mean that might be kind of cool too for a power. I mean, wouldn't that be cool to if you know you're going to be off grid, you can downclock your processor and save battery.
Well, they have that called airplane mode.
Yeah, but you lose all your signal. I mean, you can't do anything.
That's what I'm saying. If you're off the grid, you just said that.
No, I'm just saying if I'm off away from a charging station, I won't be able to charge it if I'm away from power.
So a lot of the Android devices already do that. You go to battery saver mode.
Ultrasound.
Isn't the performance variable though, and so it would only make it so it doesn't hit the peak performance, and so just normal interaction with the phone, it really shouldn't change that much, right?
Yeah,
you would think
it's just when you're hitting the
using your phone for phone-like things.
Yeah. Okay, so quick PSA more than anything on this one. The Steam Winter Sale is up. So if you're a PC gamer,
You want to go add to your already overbloated collection?
exactly,
You can
check
go
out
do that.
the old Steam Winter Sale. And then speaking of games as well, let's talk a little bit about PUBG on the Xbox. This has been interesting.
I got it shipped to me. I bought it.
Unlike Apple, who gets nailed for being non-transparent about how their stuff doesn't work very well, PUBG is very transparent about. Well, I guess they don't even have to because you can see it yourself. That game runs like garbage.
Yeah, and they just completely like, yep, here's the specs.
Yep,
Sorry.
runs like garbage.
What was that, Tony? I can't hear you over my fan.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like this model. I don't like pre-release games. You pay the money so they can actively develop it, and you get a crap product until maybe a year later when it finally releases 1.0.
Well, the great part about that is just don't buy into it.
Yeah.
So you can avoid it yourself. But that's PUBG for some reason. It seems to be immune to this. Like it runs pretty poorly. Everyone knows it runs poorly.
Like frame rates below 20.
And it still has 30.
This is like Nintendo 64 James Bond level bad.
No, that was like frames below 10 frames per second.
Pretty close.
But it and yet with all of its problems, it still has 30 million users across PC and Xbox.
And yeah, NVIDIA just gave it some optimized drivers, right?
NVIDIA, just released optimized drivers.
That's for the PC though, not the
Yeah,
Xbox.
Right.
Yep.
So PUBG on the Xbox, they've already released 2 patches for it, and it has helped somewhat. But go watch the Digital Foundry analysis of it. They have a video about it on release for early access for Xbox, and then they've also done a patch version as well to see what the difference is.
It's just all over the map.
It really is. It's really interesting. Now, there's no denying that the game mechanics are fun on PUBG. Like it's a fun game to play, but it struggles to keep its frame rate up, even on the Xbox One X.
hard.
And there's
too.
much better looking games out there.
Oh yeah, it doesn't even look that good, but it's fascinating how it just, to me, it is very interesting how some games just get a straight pass for stuff like that.
It's lightning in the bottle for the time. I see it kind of disappearing after a couple of months. Personally, I
don't think it'll disappear after a few months. I think it's got legs. I think you're going to see it stick around
we'll
like
see.
Team Fortress 2. But
You think?
Yeah, I do. I might be wrong. DayZ had that kind of lightning in a bottle for
Jay-Z?
No, Daisy.
Oh.
Daisy, I
Is
only
he
had
also
one
a
friend that
rapper?
played it,
Yes.
but he was loyal to that game.
Yeah, in the PC community, DayZ had a huge loyal
but
following.
that game
for,
looked like crap too.
for a couple years, and it did. It looked like garbage. It didn't play that well. So you might see the same with PUBG. You might see it fade away after 2 or 3 years because nobody really talks about DayZ anymore.
No,
But it's also because it's not being developed on as quickly as it used to be. Anyway, we'll see. But yeah, I would say if you really want to get into PUBG on the Xbox, sure, go for it. But I'm going to wait till they patch it up some more before I get it on Xbox.
Me too.
Alrighty, we got to hit on crypto for a little bit, just because basically we saw it fall off a cliff 2 days ago.
Yeah. Everybody just watched in horror as Bitcoin plummeted to 13,000 or something.
which
or
I
11.
love that we say that it plummeted to 13,000 because before it bumped up to 18, wasn't it? At
3
like
weeks ago.
7
Yeah,
or
3
something
weeks
like that.
ago. That was like
10.
a month ago. Just a month ago.
So if you think about it, if you take out that big hike and we made it from 7 all the way up to 13, that's
Right.
kind of big.
yeah.
But the problem is you have people that bought in at 18,000 thinking it was going to just keep going up,
Yeah.
and now it went
Now
down to
they're losing their
13.
minds.
Yeah. So, but I mean, we are all 100% transparent when we talk about cryptocurrency on this podcast. It is a huge volatile roller coaster.
Right.
Don't invest more than you're willing to lose.
Because
Nobody. The problem is nobody understands why it goes up. Nobody understands why it goes down.
Yeah, it just does.
Nobody does. Not
I
even the
always
people
thought
that
it-
are investing in it.
I always
Like,
thought it
not
went
even-
this far down when somebody makes a big withdrawal.
That can be a reason that it does, but I don't think that was a reason this time.
Usually it's market panic.
Yeah.
Is what like one person, like it's flock mentality. So like in a flock of birds or a school of fish, when one turns, the whole thing moves.
So,
Right.
so what you're saying is it's one guy named Stuart that lives in probably like Sacramento,
One tweet can do it.
and
one
he,
tweet can,
he has a
can
little
trigger it.
cursor, and then he's like, let's bump it up. Let's bump
Somebody
it up.
tweets somebody tweets and says Bitcoin's falling. 2 other people say, "Is
What?
Bitcoin falling?" And
Bitcoin's
they go
falling?
look at it. They see it drop $40. Bitcoin's
I
falling.
better sell.
And then it is catastrophic. It's hilarious to watch. I mean, I'm not invested in Bitcoin super heavily.
I
so.
am.
So
Another problem with Bitcoin is there's like 40 main investors, and if one of them gets out, then everyone's kind of
that's
screwed.
it. Yeah, for sure. It's huge. It's supposed to be this decentralized thing, but basically
it's become kind of
there's
centralized.
basically 30 or 40 people that own like 60% of Bitcoin.
Well, the
or something.
fascinating
That
thing,
makes sense.
the fascinating thing too about Bitcoin is I read an article the other day that explained the difference between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. And Bitcoin Cash
Yeah, the name.
is well, no, see,
There's a cash at the end.
duh.
guy,
BCC instead of BTC.
Sometimes I don't think Tony knows what he's talking about.
which has also had a meteoric rise. The
It
BCC.
did. And the main difference that I saw, and I've experienced it myself when I play around with doing some trading on there, Bitcoin Cash has a much higher, a much larger block.
Yeah.
It's 8 megabyte block.
Yep.
Versus, I don't know what original Bitcoin's size is, but it is much smaller. And as a result, you get a lot more network congestion with transactions with regular Bitcoin.
Right.
If you make a transaction with Bitcoin right now, plan on it taking at least half an hour.
But the miners love it because the more transactions there has to be, the lower the block size,
Right.
They get paid for that.
Okay.
The more rewards. That's why the miners and a lot of them are like, well, if we increase the block size, then the payouts
are smaller.
are smaller.
Or less frequent.
Yeah.
But with Bitcoin Cash, you have an 8 megabyte block, which is much, much larger than regular Bitcoin. And so when I traded Bitcoin Cash last week, it was instantaneous.
Right.
I hit trade, and my wallet had funds or funds were removed within 2 seconds. Whereas with regular Bitcoin, it took over half an hour. So
and I've heard
that's
people
one of
say
the-
even up to like 3 hours.
Yeah, I've heard horror
and
stories
the
that are even
fees are
longer.
insane.
Yeah, it's like $26 per
Yeah.
transaction.
Yeah.
So
Well, compared to normal money, it's still a whole lot quicker.
that's true. It takes days
Yeah.
still for my bank to
Right.
do a transaction. But you have that's where the new blockchain technologies are really interesting because Ripple has
bank
Ri-
integration, right? They're
has
getting
some
with
bank
Citibank.
integration. Yep. I don't know about Citibank, but
Or is it Capital One? I can't remember.
several Asian banks are starting to use its technology, as well as American Express
American Express that's what it is.
has started to use their technology, and that is Ripple has said, we'll see how long it lasts, like how accurate it is, but they have said that their transaction time will never go longer than 4 seconds.
Which is crazy amounts of time to send any type of money, any amount of money.
Yeah. So we'll see how long they're able to do that for, but it's been interesting. The roller coaster ride continues with cryptocurrency.
And they've been shutting down exchanges. And actually, an Asian exchange collapsed because of hacking too this last week. Youbit.
Again?
Yeah. So
Jeez.
they actually think it's North Korea. That's because North Korea is basically bankrupt, and so they think a lot of these hacks for cryptocurrency has been North Korea trying to finance their government by stealing. Anyway. It's
interesting
fun.
stuff.
Oh, I have one more tiny story in the blockchain world.
I was going to say real quick.
Long Island iced tea. Anybody?
Nothing will stop Owen
Wow, he's
and
going.
cryptocurrency.
Long Island iced tea. Do you guys drink it?
No.
No.
Okay, I don't either.
I love this story, by the way.
They changed their stock market name to Long Blockchain. They didn't change any of their stuff. Just their name, and their stock price tripled overnight.
So if you need us, we'll be called the Gadget blockchain.
Yep.
This is so depressing, and it makes me think that
so
all the
great.
people that are in Wall Street are just
They
idiots.
don't know what they're doing.
Like I
at
said,
all.
flock mentality. Somebody's like, no, blockchain.
That's awesome.
The Gadget blockchain.
And they just, this Long Island iced tea, they were a nobody before. Like, they're just, it's a drink. It's a drink company. It's, Anyway, tripled their stock price.
That's
and then
genius.
even once it was discovered that's what they
It
did.
still went up?
It didn't plummet back down.
Oh,
it
stayed.
retained.
They're
price.
investing in blockchain.
Yeah, and
That
they
is
did say that. They did say that we are looking to use blockchain for our future growth.
For what? Helping to make lemonade?
Well,
That
just
goes
for,
inside there.
the idea behind
iced tea that goes inside there.
the blockchain is different than cryptocurrency.
Yeah, the technology.
The technology is just a distributed database.
Right.
So there's tons of companies already out there that are using blockchain internally for their own distributed databases.
It's a great new technology.
Yeah.
Is blockchain the opposite of the cloud?
No.
kind of.
I would say it's a fork of the cloud.
Yeah. It's
Because-
the same idea where you have high availability, but you're not limited to one vendor, and it's decentralized.
So, and what I was going to say was take heed to exactly what James said a few minutes ago. If you're going to play in cryptocurrency, never put more money in than you're willing to lose.
So at work, obviously we get reimbursement checks if we spend money doing X, Y, or Z. So that money that I get that has already been spent is kind of like bonus money, even though it's still my money. That's
nothing like bonus money.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. That's the money that I use.
It's written off.
Yeah, that's the money that I use to invest.
Are you still playing in the crypto markets? I thought you were out.
Oh, I'm completely in. I'm diverse. The other thing that I was going to ask you guys is So I mainly use Coinbase. Mm-hmm. Which has just that has just accepted Bitcoin Cash, even though a couple of days ago, even they were saying we're not going to do Bitcoin Cash, and there's a big upset thing with Coinbase with the execs thinking that it's insider trading and all that fun stuff. But since then, they have kind of shut down any kind of transactions with Bitcoin Cash on Coinbase. They've just refused any kind of whatevers. What other sites like Coinbase can you guys
here's
suggest?
the thing with Coinbase. It only accepts 4 coins, right?
Yeah, right now.
Or 3,
Bitcoin,
I should say.
No.
Because they're not really doing Bitcoin Cash yet.
You can. It's like a one-way mirror. You can see through to Bitcoin Cash, but you can't get it.
So there's a lot of other exchanges that deal in a bunch of the other altcoins. I like Binance. This isn't a plug for them by any means or anything like that, but that's who I use is Binance. They're good. You got Bitfinex.
I'm a Bittrex guy.
There's Bittrex.
And for the really shady coins that I've mined, I'm not ashamed to say I've mined some really whale coin, Pegasus coin,
porno coin.
I'm no joke. I thought about mining it just for the gag.
Porn coin.
It's there.
Wait, is there?
Yeah, there's a porn.
Well,
coin.
oh my gosh! I kind of want to put $30
there's
in
fat
like
coin.
50 different kinds of coins.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, just in case one takes off.
Yeah.
You know,
You can say the same thing about penny stocks.
It's
It's the exact same concept.
It is exactly the same concept. And so if you really want to go to a kind of a shadier exchange that I've had success on, I haven't been screwed on, it's called stocks.exchange. It's where you can get really the kind of dirty, it's kind of the seedy underbelly of the exchange world because like most exchanges, they provide a physical address of their location. They provide a hierarchy, a contact info. Stocks.exchange does none of that.
Oh, really?
Their support is just like, email us here and we'll get back to you.
Oh, jeez.
No address, no nothing. And so I've done a lot of, not a lot. I've done a little bit of business on there. It's kind of fun. Anyway, that's all, Jarron.
I don't believe it. Tony's going to try to stop you, and you're just going to talk through him like a big bulldozer.
I'll override it because it's more interesting than...
we got to talk about our patron saint of Gadget Spot for a minute, Elon Musk.
This is a great story.
So he wants to launch...
Well, where's the shrine to Elon?
I keep it in the closet.
Good, okay.
Yeah.
It's in our hearts.
It's always there, obviously, but also in the closet. He's going to launch his Roadster into space on their new Falcon Heavy rocket.
This is him deciding. So they were like, what payload do we send up to test our Falcon X Heavy or Falcon Heavy?
Let's send my car.
He's like, how about it? And you know that what happened is he had just been reading some report and he found out the gross curb weight of his Tesla was this amount of pounds. And then they're like, what should we send up? We need something that's about this much. And he was like, hey, my car is that much.
It's going to get a lot of press. It'll be great.
That's exactly. It's a PR stunt.
Yeah.
The Falcon Heavy is a cool rocket. So
it really is.
It's 3 separate rockets, and he tweeted late last night or in the morning that when it's launched next month, 2 of the rockets are going to land itself in on the launch pad, I think in California, and the third rocket's going to land itself on a barge in the ocean.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Did you see the time that he launched it? Wasn't a coincidence. He launched during rush hour traffic, so everybody was
that's a different story. That's the Falcon 9 that they
dang
launched.
Everyone in LA was looking at it and is that a UFO? Is
it
that a nuclear bomb
it
from
gets people
North Korea?
excited about science.
Yeah. He was like, we knew it. Aliens exist.
Funny stuff.
Oh, no, it's just Elon, which he might be an alien. We don't know, but...
I don't think he normally launches in California.
No, he usually launches out of Cape Canaveral in Florida.
No, he does launch. I actually went to his launch site. It's located in Lompoc, California.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there. It's pretty cool.
He has one there. He just typically launches from somewhere else.
He usually launches from the Kennedy Space Center, Cape Canaveral.
One of my birth parents are out there.
So. That's nice. So anyway, that's James.
I want you to have a father.
Thanks.
I want you to have a
One of my
birthday.
tentative dads is the one that lives out
One
there.
of my.
One of the prospects, one of the people I've tracked down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it Elon?
Quite literally.
So,
Jerk.
the funny thing about what Owen said is what they usually use to test payloads in big rockets is cement blocks. Nothing special.
Right.
I was reading about this. They just put weight, things
Yeah.
that are heavy. So yeah, why not put my car up there? I mean, he's got the money.
Yeah.
He's the one that's this is his brainchild.
I need a new one anyway.
And
I wanted to get one of the new sports, one of the Model X's or whatever that one they drove off recently.
That's what he's sending up is
Oh,
the
is it?
Roadster.
Oh, the
I think
Roadster?
it's the original Roadster, isn't
Oh,
it?
Yeah.
it's the original
Yeah.
Roadster. Okay, so yeah, but on a related note, I got you guys a Christmas present, but
You did. I already got it right here.
no, that's your couple. That's from one couple to another.
Oh.
This was a Gadget Spot Christmas present that since they never got here on time, I got to do that lame. I got you guys this, but
It's in the mail.
It's in the mail.
I use that all the time because I always save all my Christmas shopping
You're
to
an
the very
accountant.
end, and then I'll say, "Oh, it just didn't come in time. Stupid shipping."
No, I do that depending on who got to me. A Christmas
When you're an
present.
accountant, so you're
So-
always like, the check is in the mail.
This is a surprise Gadget Spot Christmas present.
It's not really a surprise you're telling us about it.
They
right
haven't shipped yet because nobody's shipped yet. But I got us all boring company hats.
Yeah.
Boring
Yes.
company hats. I was thinking of buying one.
Oh, so cool.
Ta-da!
now. I
wear
actually
that
don't
all
wear
the time.
hats.
You're wearing one right now.
I know.
So anyway, I'm pretty excited for that. When they get here, we'll unbox them.
Doesn't
Aw,
like
thanks, man.
one of the people who buys the hat gets a free tour of the boring machine and stuff?
Well, I bought 4, so I hope so.
Well,
You
let's
get a
go.
one-
Let's go. It's 4 of us.
4 in 50,000 chance.
Yep.
Sweet.
So so those are coming. But yeah, we all praise to our patron saint Elon Musk.
We need to make a little
Oh,
shrine of
hell,
him and
Elon
set it
Musk.
right in the middle of the table. And then
Seriously.
someday when he lets us down, we just have a hammer and we smash
I was going
it.
to say one of these days. Hopefully, it never happens because hopefully it didn't happen. But some scandal's going to come out about Elon Musk, and we're going to
No.
Yeah.
no.
Tony, say 4 Elons
Elon.
to repent of that.
Elon, hail.
Elon. Okay. So real quickly, we got to touch on as well. Net neutrality is getting a Senate vote to undo the FCC's repeal.
Yeah, so that went through, unfortunately, on party lines. The FCC did repeal it.
Boo.
And of course, all the big cable companies were like, "Oh yeah, that really sucks." We didn't. They knew it was going to happen, so it cost them nothing to go against it at
Yeah.
the beginning, and now they're all changing their tune. But there is a Senate vote to repeal it, basically force
Is
it.
anyone optimistic about this?
No,
No.
not even a little. I mean, they with this new senator Doug something getting put in. There's
Doug
something whatever, this guy that won against Roy Moore.
Oh, in
Oh,
Alabama.
yeah.
Yeah, in Alabama.
Doug Jones.
Doug
Doug
Jones.
Jones.
So he, with this, there's a little bit better chance. They don't have to pass it with a supermajority. They just have to pass it with a simple majority. So there's a chance, but then it would have to go to the House, which is a supermajority controlled by the Republican, and then Trump would just veto it in the end anyway. So
Ridiculous.
it's more of a letting the people. This is the people voicing what they want, and the government completely ignoring
It's a
it.
testament to how broken the system
Yeah,
is.
I mean, it really,
You
like
wanna know
James
what's
said, they
interesting?
don't work for us anymore. Like it really,
No, they
is
don't.
showing
And
that.
what's kind of interesting is like even though this already passed, like it's a testament to both sides of the coin. Like how long it's going to actually take to get enacted, and how many repeal processes there are, which there needs to be, but nothing is going to get repealed, even though the people have spoken.
I'm also offended as an intelligent person at Gadget Pie's tweets that he's putting out. These little stupid PR campaigns are the things you can still do with net neutrality
jeez.
repealed, where he's like dressing up. He's like, you can, something about Star Wars. There's been a fight with him between Mark Hamill on Twitter about Star Wars and evil corporations and that, and I guess a couple other that.
Gadget Pie needs to spend less time on Twitter and more time getting his
Just
teeth waxed by
just-
people who wax surfboards.
Yeah, anyway, it's like insulting to have him be, because that he's trying to appeal to the uneducated masses. Look at all, you can still watch all the cat videos or what you want, and you don't worry about
That's
that.
not the issue,
But
Gadget.
no, because in 5 years or 10 years, when the fast lanes start appearing and they start throttling bandwidth, and the people are like, how do we get to this spot? Be like, because Gadget Pie put out a stupid cat video that you were like, oh, today's not so bad. That
He's
guy's
right.
He's got a winning smile.
He's right. It's okay.
I still think, and this is like totally not how this company was, or how this country, Freudian slip, this country was founded. But like, I do think there needs to be some kind of an education process that needs to go. If you have the right to vote, you need to be educated to some extent on what you're voting for. This whole ignorant voting thing has got to go away.
How are you going to enforce that?
Yeah. How are you going to teach the masses?
I know.
Have to be some sort of like flying blimp that floats over and gives
problem
everyone's
is,
campaign.
Gadget Pie sucks.
The problem is the internet has fostered this culture of you don't need to believe what you learn.
No. Yeah. Alternate facts.
Yeah.
Because you could just go to a website to have it agree to your beliefs.
You can find anything to support your own mistaken. Yeah, you're right.
I guess with the Flat Earth Society out there.
Pros and cons of the internet.
There's a perfect example, the Flat Earth Society.
I thought that was a joke for months.
It just brings these wild theories out to the masses so anyone can believe whatever they want and
I always
find facts about it.
In the back of my mind, I still think that the Flat Earth Society is like that kid in class that, like, that's how he gets attention. Is like
saying he believes in something that's weird.
I don't. In my heart of hearts, I want to believe that the people that say they believe in a flat Earth
are joking.
Are doing it as a troll.
Yeah, I have to,
because nobody can be that stupid.
Like the people who don't like Last Jedi, freaking trolls.
You know what? I think they're just trying to. I think those people. I think the Flat Earth Society is just trying to scam everybody into sending them to space. They just want a free space trip. Because that's the fix.
The Earth is flat, then.
That's the long...
Send them to the ISS, and they're like, "Hey, best case scenario or worst case scenario, we're in the news a lot, and hey, that's cool. Best case scenario, we get to go up to the ISS. They prove us wrong by sending us up there.
That's what we call the long con.
Yeah,
I feel like you'd be a good cult leader.
I
Owen.
think I need to get in on this. I just realized I really want to go to the ISS, and I think that the way to do that might now to become a flat earther.
Good luck with that.
I'm going to have to sacrifice all of my relationships. I'm sorry, guys.
Speaking of Last Jedi, there's this article on IO9 right now about how fans reacted to Empire Strikes Back in 1980. They went to some old magazines from back then, and everyone's like, Vader's lying to Luke. He's not his father. This movie sucks. It had no ending.
Interesting. Cyclical history.
Yeah.
Funny.
And then also check out in the show notes, I included a Vimeo video of somebody simulating the Death Star being built.
Oh yeah, that looks.
It
like
is
a great...
such a cool video.
Nice.
And it's apparently made off the original plans that you see in A New Hope when it pops up on the computer screen.
You mean the very undetailed plans?
Yeah, it's loosely based.
Okay,
let's put a bullet in the episode, Tony.
We got one more thing we got to hit on.
Magic Leap?
Because it's
I think Magic Leap.
Okay, two more things we got to hit on.
Yeah.
So we'll do this one first, and then we'll end on Magic Leap. Owen has his Thrifty 50 stuff he needs to review.
Oh yeah, hey. So I've been obsessing about the Thrifty 50 stuff, trying to be like, I gotta find the most cost-effective, coolest gadget, and this time I just decided to get two weird things.
Two gambles
because I kind of wanted to get a weird review out of it. I was just the first one. I was in my cryptocurrency chat, and somebody brought up this. It's a power monitor, kind of like a smart switch, and
for
it's
plugs,
but also a lot like a Wattman. So a Wattman, you plug into the wall, it actually tells you how much you're at the wall you're using, which is really useful because it's also connected to Wi-Fi. You can get to it globally. You can turn on your rig on and off. You can set schedules. The software is really cool. But I got it, and immediately I haven't actually. I kind of failed sending the video footage to James, but I have it of me unboxing it and then setting it up. But
that's okay, we'll do it later.
So I got it out of immediately. So the box. What I didn't realize is that the Discord chat channel that I'm in is not solely US based, and so the person that had put that in there was from Asia, and I just went to the link and was like, oh, for $10. It was like, and then $3 shipping, done. That's $13. The average is what, Jarron, I think was $19 or $20. You found one?
20, 30.
Yeah. So I was like, good deal. Oh my gosh, I got it. It's tiny. no cords, no wiring. It's just the box.
You sent that picture of the cords that you wired up yourself.
Yeah,
it's like something my grandpa would have done.
Yeah, so I had to. So I'm like, well, okay, off to Home Depot. add another $5 or $10 onto the purchase, buying the female and male adapter plus that. I think that the way that most people wire this device in, let me tell you the device. It's the Sonoff POW smart switch. I don't understand the naming convention at all.
You don't need to.
I thought it was prisoner of war, son of what, son off. I don't.
Prisoner of what?
So Sonoff. So it's Sonoff. SONO.
OFF?
No, just FF.
Sonoff. Okay.
Anyway, and I think they were just like, it goes Sonoff. You can shut stuff on and off. Sonoff. I don't know. Super confusing.
That was a good guess.
I know. Hey. So the instructions, I open them and they're all in Chinese and 3 other Asian languages.
Just
I could
type
tell.
it into Google Translate.
I almost got my phone out to do the lens.
See if it worked. Yeah, the auto translator.
Yeah, and then my wife came up to me and she took the tiny little pamphlet and just flipped it over, and it was all the English instructions. So I felt really stupid. But I got it set up. I wired it with a male and female plug. I think it's actually designed to be wired inline in a circuit. So that's why it didn't come with the parts, because you just put you don't use it like a plug. You wire it into your circuit, because it's got a little wall mount. Anyway, and then trying to get it to connect to Android was a complete joke. There's a couple security issues I have with it. So first of all, you have to tell them what country you're coming from. Weird.
None of your business.
Then you have to create an account. So it's not like a Wemo switch where it's all on your phone. You create an account with them, and then it asks for your Wi-Fi password to get the device connected to your Wi-Fi, and it saves all of that in plain text. It doesn't even encrypt the password.
Brought to you by the Republic of People's,
and it's
the People's Republic of China.
And seriously, and the app itself, the app itself is called eWeLink, and it's completely Chinese, like minimal vetting by Google Play Store.
So does it have like an introductory profile of the Chinese person that's going to steal all your information?
I don't know. But if they want to drive here and get on my Wi-Fi, they apparently can now. So,
did you tell Chun Young that you actually have a spare bedroom? That you
I don't know.
stay in?
Maybe there's a sleeper cell that's already here.
Yeah,
that can now go get on his Wi-Fi.
Door. Starfish.
Yeah.
Did anyone move into your neighborhood recently?
See some people walking by, like, oh, this is just a Chinese tourist group that has decided to come visit
He's
Centerville,
carrying
Utah.
a briefcase that has a little hole that he uses to take pictures.
And they're just like taking pictures of the houses around, but they're really just typing into my Wi-Fi.
a little satellite on the briefcase just spinning around. Satellite just pew pew.
They're like, got it. Anyway, so
why are there so many ice cream trucks in my neighborhood?
Never was able to get it to install on my Android phone. Wouldn't do it. Like, it couldn't integrate with the system. So much troubleshooting. I went over to my wife's iPhone. I actually love that she has an iPhone for this reason, because I get to compare the apps on both platforms.
Right.
And it worked right away. I was able to put in the credentials, work, and then once it's registered, I can actually give anybody the login to it, and they can get in and turn that thing on and off.
How does it make you feel that you're a second-class citizen, apparently?
About normal. I mean,
it's really nothing new.
Yeah. So it works. It's functional. I don't trust it as far as security goes.
I like how it's like a gadget that you installed in your house, and your first review was, it works.
I'm going to keep using it. That's the thing, is I'm going to keep using it. I do like, it's got a ton, the app itself is really kind of functional. You can set schedules, you can set the loop, you can see the wattage, you can turn it on and off with a press of a button. It works. I just don't like it.
I was gonna say,
and it's hard for me to justify function over form. If it functions, I'm always like,
would you recommend it to anybody?
I would not recommend it to anybody. I would just go.
What is the gold standard of this product?
Like the best market one?
Yeah,
I would say Wemo is probably my. I mean,
I
some of the
swear
higher
I
end,
have like a specific memory of you even being like.
I just don't know if Wemo does the watt monitoring, the power usage.
So the one I have, it's called iDevices Switch. It connects to Google Home. It connects to HomeKit. So it connects to all the major platforms.
Does it monitor power?
It does monitor power.
See, yeah, I would do.
And that one's $30. You can find it sometimes on sale for $20.
I would say go with this. Go with that platform, because this is a cool, cheap little thing. But I probably wouldn't recommend it. The last thing I got for my Thrifty 50.
I'm excited for this one.
I almost brought this to make since it was so early. So I got the Hamilton Beach breakfast sandwich maker.
Delicious.
I'm gonna try it out.
You haven't tried it yet?
No, because something happened and it didn't get here
Yeah.
until like yesterday afternoon, and I was
Okay.
out.
So,
So
you're not even reviewing it this time?
no,
It's
I'm
a
not.
teaser
So
for next
it's
episode.
a teaser.
Okay.
So
All right.
I'm gonna get it out, and I had all these plans to like find gluten-free
Oh my
biscuits
gosh.
and like bring them in. I was
Wow.
gonna make them here, but then
Your heart is so nice.
Yeah, I know.
But
Is
your
it
brain
the-
is so lazy.
Can
Yeah.
it make the 2 sandwiches at once?
it looks like it.
I have been picking gadgets like a fool.
Yeah, so I kind of split the 50-50, and I got the
It makes the whole sandwich in
Look
one.
at its ratings. It's
Yeah.
got 1,800 ratings, 4.5 stars.
yeah, it's looking pretty cool.
I know
So
what my thrifty 50 is going
You
to
want
be.
to know what the thing is my kitchen is starting to turn into this Mod Podge of like very specific things like this.
Yeah, that's the problem. You just have to place your bets on things you actually like, and then when you run out of space, you just
Yeah,
have
you got
to
to get
stop.
like general things. You got to get like a Blendtec. You got to get the mixer thing.
Yeah, the KitchenAid's mixer
KitchenAid.
is nice because there's attachments you can use for
multi-
Yeah, but
multifunction.
then you run
Yeah.
into the same problem where you have like cabinets
Well,
full
like,
of just its attachments.
the attachments aren't as big as like the real thing.
Yeah.
For
Are you
example,
ever gonna
there's
use
like
the
a
pasta one.
there's like a flour grinder attachment that's like tiny compared to an actual flour grinder.
Why don't you
would
just buy flour, man? It's an extra $1.
What if you don't want to?
what if you can't have
Yeah, I didn't
flour?
think that you could touch flour.
It makes me shrivel up. Well, specific parts of my body shrivel up.
I feel like you are.
You don't wanna know.
I feel like you're a very specific kind of vampire, and like flour is your garlic.
There's some major turtling that happens.
So if
Never
if-
mind.
if
Just don't worry about
if
it.
gluten intolerance is to a vampire, what is your stake to the heart?
Uh,
That would be like a
Stuff a Dorito chip to the top of your mouth.
No, he can eat Doritos. It would be like if someone threw a cinnamon roll at his face.
oh,
'Cause
you
he
know
could-
that
he
really
could
is my
not-
kryptonite
he could
because I
not-
love them
Yeah.
so much.
He couldn't stop himself from eating it.
I know.
So,
When was the last time you had Cinnabon?
Never.
never.
You've
So-
never had a Cinnabon?
No.
They're horrible.
I've
anyway.
had gluten-free cinnamon rolls, and they are delicious.
Anyway, well,
Yeah.
I'll,
Okay, we got-
I'll fully review the.
Yeah, I'm
this
excited
week.
for that.
And I still want to bring it in and maybe make some sandwiches and try it out.
What time are we at?
Long.
2 hours and 10 minutes. We
My
got
wife-
one more
my
thing
wife
we're
is
going to hit
be
on.
So pissed.
Magic Leap.
You guys remember Magic Leap?
Once a year,
Yeah.
they once
remember
a year
school
they
bus.
come out from behind their
One of the vaporiest vaporwares.
once
never
a year.
vapored.
Once
What
a year,
is
they
it?
come out and they hype themselves up. It's AR, augmented
Yeah.
reality goggles.
Yeah, years ago they said they'll have these magical glasses that when you put them on, and the glasses are like seamless and don't really
Didn't
look like much.
Microsoft say something about that? And they had a big thing with
yeah, and
Microsoft.
they have an actual
Is
product.
that them?
No,
No.
this is different.
This is a company based in Florida, I think. But anyway, they have like these
hate
huge
Florida.
claims, and they have all this startup money, and they finally released what their hardware is going to look like. It's not.
It's still conceptual.
Yeah,
right?
it's not consumer hardware.
Still a render.
It's still a render.
It's still a render. It's for developers. They say it's going to come out sometime in 2018, so they don't have a real release date yet. And you have to wear like this hockey puck type thing on your. It's basically a fanny pack that looks like a hockey puck.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
It looks
wearing
like
a
a
fanny
Google
pack.
Home Mini right there.
But take a look at the glasses. It looks like Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter.
I mean, they look cool. I'll be the first to say they look.
HoloLens looks better than these.
Yeah, that's true. But these look the render that they put out looks swifty. Like I'm gonna.
does not look
Yeah, it does.
No.
It looks cool. I'm
It-
gonna
it's like
say it.
two round lenses separated by a bunch of cameras and plastic, and it's ugliness.
There's like 5 cameras on that.
Yeah.
It looks literally like some sort of like Star Trek or not even Star Trek, some fantasy like space
It looks like-
dystopian
It
goggles.
looks like a low budget sci-fi.
Mad Max. That's what I was
The-
going for. It looks like some goggles from Mad Max.
The Microsoft
The
HoloLens is like a big visor. This is two separate lenses. It just looks so bad, and they don't have a product yet. Microsoft's already does have a product, not for consumers,
I just
but for
opened
developers.
It looks
Yeah.
like a Google Home on your pocket.
And the field of view isn't that great. They've
look at the
they've
look at the peripheral.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
just feel like they've limited it.
they've completely overpromised.
Unless there's something going to be underneath, reflective in the corners. Like I don't know.
it's vaporware at this point.
Still garbage.
Yeah.
But once a year they come out, they rev up the investors, and they're just like, trust us, this is going to go places.
Once a year they trot out the hype machine.
Yeah,
You know, it looks really bad when they get really hot models to
that's why they're exactly.
to show it, and the models themselves look so nerdy.
Do I have to wear this thing? Actually, no. They just rendered it on there, right? So he's just standing there with a thing in his hand and a hockey puck on his belt.
Yeah.
And then they just Photoshop that over his face.
More likely than not.
Look at at least the lady in the background on the computer. She's looking at something
That's a real computer.
else.
That is a real computer. Good job.
She's probably watching the crypto market go. Look at her. She's pissed.
That's a callback.
Yeah.
I got to find a new job.
Oh, awesome. All right, well, I think we're done. 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I would hope we're done.
Merry Christmas! Hopefully you stayed to the end of this.
The true fans
even if it took
are
multiple...
listening to us right now.
Yeah, even if it took multiple starts and stops.
Maybe.
I guess that was 2017. We're sorry or something.
I'm not sorry. I'm not even a little.
We hope you're listening.
Yeah, this is... here's to a good start of 2018.
Yeah.
We'll see you next year.
Could only go up from here.
Owen?
Hey, we know you care.
Ta-da.
Oh, that's so touching.
If they made it this far, we know they care.